right. Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to week 4 of the Indiana Jones movie marathon here on Teacup for One. My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. And today we're talking about the best movie of the Indiana Jones franchise. I'm so excited to talk about my new favorite. Today we were talking about Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Aliens for some reason. So today is all about the aliens, and this is probably the most this is the most infamous movie in the franchise, and I think one of the most I can't even call it divisive. Everybody hates this movie. I don't know why. I'm excited to find out why from at least one person I know who passionately won't even acknowledge that this movie exists within the franchise. And yeah, because I didn't mind it. And I love aliens. So, and Kate Blanchett. How can you not love Kate Blanchett? And Karen Allen comes back. Shia LaBeouf. I mean, he's a strange individual, but he's a talented actor. So I love watching him in pretty well anything. I don't know. I'm excited. To hear people's thoughts on this movie. So speaking of people's thoughts, let's see who we have in the comments today. We have my mom, Martha. Hello. Where are the cats? Oh, one of them's here, Sabrina. Hello, Matthew. We're running late today and have to eat our dinner now. We will come back later. Eliza isn't on her computer yet, but says hello. Okay, Eliza, get on the computer. I need to hear what Eliza thought about the archaeology alien movie. All right. Well, let's bring in our first set of guests for this evening. You know them. You love them. 2 for 1. It's Vince and Lisa.
What?
Hello, friends. Hold on. Do I want to do this? No, it's too big. There we go. Yeah. Brilliant. And this way we can still see the alien skull.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. Right? There we go. Did you say you're crediting yourselves as a better couple than Indiana? Actually, no, that's totally fair.
He's a better man than Indiana. That's for sure.
100%.
It doesn't take much.
I mean, I don't know. I love Marianne, but no, she deserves better.
Oh, she absolutely does. And you think she knows that too. But I also feel like in this movie, she's gotten to an age where she's like, I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I had the great family life. I have a child I'm proud of. I have nothing to lose now. So why not just marry this loser? And then she does. No, spoiler alert.
Well, life is too short to marry losers.
Maybe she could fix him.
No. Listen, the best relationship advice is to not settle. Do not settle.
100%. No, and you know what? She knew that too. Although, granted, in this movie, she regressed and she did settle. So
she did, yes.
There we go. Except I'm happy that for decades she didn't settle, and she went with people that seemed great, like that off-camera character that I thought was maybe in a previous installment, but I don't think actually was the guy that Indy introduced her to. That was Mutt's fake father for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed like a stand-up fellow because he was never on screen. So there's no reason for me to believe he wasn't everything she deserved. So there we go. There we are. But anyway, welcome. So here we are. Opening question. Who's your favorite alien?
Alf. I like Alf. I used to watch Alf as a kid, not really understanding the show. But he looks like a hairy worm. And I don't know. I think that's something admirable about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What other aliens are there?
Oh, there's so many in Star Trek. You know, if you
oh my
God! Aliens. You got Worf, who's fantastic. You have Q, who's a bi icon, I would say. You got
icon.
Bicon, yes. Yeah. And also would be an amazing drag queen, I think.
I
need to look up this character.
Almost there.
Is it just the letter Q or is it CUE?
Just the letter Q, played by John Delancey, one of the great actors of our time.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Star Trek. You're right.
There's Quark, the lovable Ferengi. I love Tribbles. You know, they don't have much character, but they're cute.
I've still never seen a Star Trek, so
you gotta. This is. I know. I keep telling you, you gotta give it a shot.
I know. But where do I start? Do I start original with real Spock? Do I start Next Generation with Patrick Stewart?
Next Generation's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I started with the original series, but you know, everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
Is it like Degrassi, The Next Generation? I don't need context for the original generation.
The Next Generation is set 100 years after the Kirk one. So
Degrassi, it tells you whenever a past character or a past reference comes up,
Mhm.
They like lead you in very well. So
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Whoopi Goldberg plays a great alien.
Oh,
Is she an
Gyno.
alien? I assume she was a
Yeah.
human in the show.
She
No?
looks like a human, but she is an alien.
Yep,
Yeah. And so is Deanna Troy.
that's true. She's half alien.
She's half alien. I wish Dr. Crusher was an alien.
Wait, are there any actual humans in Star Trek, or
Yeah.
are they all?
Yeah.
Picard.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was like a Star Wars thing where technically they're aliens because they're not from Earth, but
No, they're from Earth.
oh,
That's
okay.
Point. Yeah, no.
Oh, Earth still exists in Star Trek. See, I
Yeah,
know so
the-
little. I know so little.
Starfleet Academy is in San Francisco. It feels really weird whenever they go there.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that. All right.
What other aliens? What's your favorite alien, Matt?
Oh, that's so tough. Maybe Stitch. Probably Stitch.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
I do love Stitch.
That's just cute.
Yeah, but I think that's the easy answer. Oh, I'm looking over at little Grogu right now. I have my Mandalorian Grogu doll. So he's another one.
Yoda?
Yoda.
I do love Yoda.
Love Yoda.
I do love Yoda. I mean, Xenomorph is not one that I love by any means, but I think I respect the Xenomorph.
I'm more of a Predator guy, but I do respect the Xenomorph.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Mork, Robin Williams. On
Yes.
Mork TV.
Of course. I hope we're all taking notes because this might come back in the game. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Oh, all right. Let's bring in our next guest for this evening. It's no introduction. It's Alex. Woo.
Yay!
Hashtag
Hello, friends.
Kristen for Dean Charles Stamp. Yeah, there we go. Wait, who's Dean Charles Stanforth? Did that person die in this movie?
No, he's just the dean. I wait a minute. No, I don't
Marcus?
know who he is. I just made up that name.
You're being coy, but I don't
Anyway.
know why. Okay.
I don't know why we're talking about aliens.
This
I don't know how
movie's
that's
about
relevant.
aliens. This movie's about, interdimensional beings.
Okay. I guess that's an explanation for the ghost character. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah.
Ghost.
happy to
What movie
be-
did you
happy to be-
watch? What movie did you watch?
Well, this
Ghost
is the
character?
penultimate Indiana film, right? Prior to Dial of Destiny, right? So
Yeah.
watch
Crystal
the
Skull.
last.
Crystal
you say?
Skull. The Kingdom of the Crystal
Oh,
Skull.
is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah.
That's a funny.
Yeah,
That's
the
a funny
fourth one.
alternate.
No, that's the official title.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, is there like a director's cut or something of
Well,
Last Crusade? Is that,
no. Alex, Last Crusade was last week.
Yeah, no, I know, but I
Yeah.
figured we had to fill in the time, and we were gonna do kind of the extended.
No, Alex. There's a fourth movie. There's a fourth movie.
Yeah, I know it's out in theaters now. Yeah, but we're doing
No,
that next
that's the
week, right?
fifth movie.
So
That's the
okay, so
fifth.
there's the okay. I'm with you. We got the
Yeah.
we got the Last Crusade. We got some kind of like director's cut extended thing. I didn't see that, guys. I'm sorry. So I don't know what that.
You
the
didn't
missing
see
scenes
Kingdom of
were.
the
There's
Crystal Skull?
aliens.
There's
There are
aliens.
how
Indiana
does they
Jones
actually-
meets aliens.
So the Crusader, he's an alien, or he's a hologram projected from like a spaceship.
No. He finds an alien skull, and then it's kind of like. Did you ever see Road to El Dorado? That cartoon?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
cartoon,
So it's like that, but with less gold and more aliens. That's what this movie is.
So what? So is okay. Well, you guys, I'll pick it up as you guys kind of go through here, right?
Okay.
Wait, are you serious? You haven't seen the movie?
What movie?
God.
All right.
I'm excited to see where this conversation goes. Right here in the comments, is it just meow or what? I think it's just me or what, but I'll try to put meow any place that it looks like it fits. Gizmo from the Flintstones. Now, question: do you mean the Great Gazoo from the Flintstones? Because Gizmo, I think, is the gremlin.
Yeah, Gizmo's a gremlin. I mean, there may be a Gizmo in Flintstones.
Alex, you're on the wrong channel. This is not the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I wish it could be.
I don't know the reference,
And
but
favorite
I'm on
alien
board.
is Mork. There we are. All right. Well then, here we go. Alex, what's your favorite alien? Whether or not it's relevant to Last Crusade, because I know no aliens in Last Crusade.
Well, I mean, until now. Favorite alien.
Motorcycle. Indy. Mutt.
Um,
It's Mutt.
Probably the Covenant from Halo. I mean, they're not strictly speaking alien species. They're a collection of
They're-
alien
Yeah.
species.
Are, 13 of them that form a hive mind. of an
No,
interdimensional
that's
being?
the Flood from Halo. They form a hive mind. But
Okay.
the Covenant, they're just a collective of like cooperating species, kind of like in Star Trek with the Federation. I'm not sure what the official designation is in Star Trek. I don't remember.
That's
But
correct.
the alliance of like Vulcans and humans. Yeah, so kind of like that. But no, so probably species from the Covenant,
Mhm.
probably the Sangali or the elites as the humans call them.
Wait, was Lisa taking a selfie?
No,
I
I'm just going
posed.
over the aliens in movies, and I forgot a really good alien movie that I liked. So,
Which
sorry.
one?
From Arrival, the aliens in Arrival,
Oh,
Yes.
I haven't seen
Adams,
that movie. Yeah.
where like they
Like the
write in like these
hexapods, the circles.
La la
No,
la
no,
la
no.
la la la,
like,
not listening.
like,
Alex,
those
it's so
are
good. You have to
cool
see it. It's so
aliens.
good. That was one of my
Power
favorite movies
your
of that
events,
year.
people.
Yeah,
It's one of
really good.
yeah. And Amy Adams, love her.
Yeah, she can
Yeah.
do no wrong.
She can. Well, wait. Actually, no, you're right. No, she can't. I'm trying to. I feel like there's a movie I didn't care for her in, but I can't remember what it was. But generally, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, Captain Marvel's an alien.
No.
She gets her powers from
From
an
an
alien
alien.
source.
The Superman's the alien.
Yeah, Superman.
Yes.
I guess you could argue
The
that
cat.
Carol. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the cat. Goose. The Flurkin. The rah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Then
an
I got rid of
alien.
his. Yeah. I love Goose. I love the Flurkin.
Chris Pratt's part alien, technically,
That's true.
Chris
Is-
Pratt.
from Guardians of the
right.
Galaxy.
For whatever reason, I heard Chris Pratt, but thought you said Chris Pine, and I jumped to Wonder Woman, but not Marvel. I
Also,
was
Star
confused.
Trek.
He was in
Also-
Star
oh yeah, you're right. You're right. So really, everyone's kind of an alien, except for the aliens in this movie, because they're interdimensional beings for
Yeah.
some reason. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about this movie. I mean, it's not really relevant to ask the nostalgia question because this movie's new, and we were all more or less, I think, close to adulthood.
What are we
if not
talking
teenage
about? This
good
is from the
when it
80s.
came out. You shush. You know what movie this
All right.
is. Okay. I'm so good. Should I be taking some CBD?
Where's our vape?
It's not going to hurt.
question. That disappeared a long time ago.
There we are. Did anyone see this movie in theaters when it came out?
I did.
Vince, what was that like for you? And how old were you? Like 5? 6?
No. I was in my early teens.
Okay.
Really?
I didn't think it was that bad when it first came out. You know, I thought there were some weaknesses, definitely in the CGI. Even at the time, I didn't like the special effects. But rewatching it a couple days ago, I think it's terrible. And I don't know how I could ever think it was okay. It's like the farthest thing from
I think it's the most okay indie movie there is. It's perfectly okay. Well, no, we'll get into that though, but okay.
Temple of Doom is okay.
No, Temple of Doom is the best.
Bottom of the barrel.
No. How dare you?
Yeah,
No.
there's some unforgivable stuff in this movie.
No, it goes Temple of Doom. Hold on, I haven't thought this through. But if I were to just off the cuff, goes Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Crystal
Oh
Skull,
my-
Raiders.
What? No.
I said what I said.
This is outrageous.
I said what I said.
Raiders is the best one.
No, it's not.
It's the
not.
best. Why am I?
No.
It's the only Oscar worthy of the.
Not
That's
Raiders,
correct.
Last
What are
Crusade,
you
but Raiders.
talking about?
That's incorrect.
No. And anyway. We'll get into this. Alex. Well, oh wait. Alex hasn't seen the movie. Lisa, had you seen? this?
Hold on,
Okay, wait.
because I hear you guys speaking, and while it's true, I don't have any idea what movie you guys are referring to. It does seem strangely reminiscent of a dream I once had. I say dream. Really, what it was a horrendous nightmare that I once had many years ago. Over a decade ago.
Mhm.
And
Recount
and in
this
dream-
nightmare for me. Recount the
Yeah,
nightmare.
in this dream there were like gophers digging molehills and
we love
desert.
gophers. They're adorable.
There was a nuclear city, for
Yeah.
atomic explosive testing.
Yeah.
There was a man. He was kind of old, but still in decent shape. He was hiding in a fridge for some reason.
Yeah.
he got
the nuclear testing.
He got chucked around in this fridge and kind of miraculously came out relatively unscathed.
Yeah.
There were strange, powerful magnetic fields that only worked some of the times as physics dictate they should. There were these like 40-year-old women who were described as mid-30s in this movie in erroneously.
Are you being and sexist at the
So,
same time?
so
What is happening?
Are you talking about Marion?
And Kate Blanchett?
no, Kate Blanchett, Sopolko, something like that. There was this Russian lady who, they kind of said that she like just Indiana Jones described her as mid-30s, and she did not look mid-30s.
She was Ukrainian?
East Ukrainian, yes. But she was with the Reds. She was with the Reds, and at the time in that time period, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, so it's not it's whatever, but yeah. So these are kind of the things I remember. So if we're gonna if I'm gonna go off of my nightmare from like 14 years ago, then I remember watching it and thinking it was garbage, and just thinking like Indy's kind of old and Shia LaBeouf's kind of hashtag not my Indiana Jones.
Well, no, he's Mutt Williams. He's a new character.
Yeah, but it was at least at the time, I got a very strong sense that the movie was trying to pass the torch onto Shia LaBeouf, and unsuccessfly, evidently. But yeah, and then there was this. Irina wasn't a bad villain per se, but she was kind of funny. There was this whole kind of, the movie kind of walks the line of like, is she supernatural or whatever, until the end when, and even then I don't even remember what, disclosure. I guess I don't know if I'm keeping up this dream, this nightmare that I'm recounting. I only recounted it in full approximately 14 years ago. I haven't had a chance to recount it in full recently, so I don't have the freshest recollection of this. I haven't consulted my dream journal from way back then.
You didn't take a nap today and have this dream again?
Well, I mean that's one technique, right? As a practicing lucid dreamer, I could have entered into my mind palace in the tranquility of sleep and experienced the dream again. But I also keep a dream journal, and I haven't done either of those things. So.
All right then, Lisa, what's your first impression of this movie?
I just want to clarify a few things from this horrid dream that you had. So Kate Blanchett was 39 when this movie was released.
Not mid-30s. Not mid-30s.
She probably filmed it when she was 37 and 38.
Mid-30s.
And
35.
Mid-30s.
I don't know where they'd say that they're mid-30s, but also Karen Allen.
Yeah, I love Marion. I'd never say a bad word against her, so I don't know what you're gonna.
Well, she was 57.
And she looked.
She was 57.
She was 57. She's 71 years old now.
She's 71.
Yeah.
Wow.
No problem. Nobody talks about her age in the movie. So.
Well, they
clarify, like Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, but she's got that mature authority, and again, who knows?
It's the acting though. She can act any age, and she pulls it off.
She always acts 40 to me. But
anyway.
Well, okay. I feel that's how I feel about Meryl Streep. Not that she always acts 40, but in my mind, Meryl Streep is always perpetually 40 years old.
She's like 70.
Oh, I know she is, but like even movies when she's younger, I'm like 40. Movies now, I see her, I'm like 40. She's always 40 to me, like a very decently aged 40-year-old person. That's how. That's
she was like in her 20s.
Oh yeah, even in her, like in Kramer versus Kramer, I see her. I'm like 40. I see her in August Osage County. I'm like 40 with a little bit of makeup.
40. She's
just Meryl is always 40. That's how I feel about Meryl.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Okay, what was the question at my first impression?
First impression.
Folks at home, I had such high expectations for this film, and I was let down so hard.
Even by Kate?
Even by Kate, even by Karen, like by everyone. Everyone, I was let down. I am going to go so far as to say this was worse than Peter Pan 2003.
Oh,
And you all know
Yes.
how much I hate that movie. This was rough, folks. This was so rough, and I can't wait to get into it. But like,
I loved this movie.
no, you know what? I was so angry. I was so angry through the whole thing. So angry. I do think this is the best movie where like they can make an amazing amusement park ride or even a whole amusement park Indiana Jones theme style, because like the log ride down the waterfalls, like the chasing of the ants. I could see
Yeah,
that.
like
roller
go
coaster.
into a fridge and then
Yeah, that could be like a kind of like a tower drop.
yeah.
Or a VR. That could be a VR.
Yeah.
You could like
See, I would
Yeah.
want the mine thing from Temple of Doom if I had my pick of indie rides. I want to ride through that thing. Yeah. But I can see, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, it's
Like-
just the movie, like the narrative.
Mhm.
It's so George Lucas did us dirty. He did us,
Well, it's kind of his brand now.
yeah,
Yeah.
as we know.
As we
But
know.
I had such high expectations because I loved the last movie so much.
Yeah.
The third one, I had no expectations, and it blew my wildest dreams out of the park. So I was very disappointed going into this one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait to
I
talk
had
about it.
I had a great time. On the topic of rides, another ride that you could do for this movie is a spinner attraction where you get 13 people in chairs and you're the interdimensional beings. It just spins.
Yes.
You all turn into one.
I said that during that scene. I was like,
Oh,
that's
really?
a cool amusement
That's a
park
cool
ride.
ride.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you all
Ride.
morph into one, and then you explode Kate Blanchett's brain with too much knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glitter everywhere.
So
Yeah.
much. Was there glitter? There could be.
There should be.
Yeah.
There should have
Yeah.
been.
See,
Yeah.
for me, this I see no difference between this movie and the previous movies. I think it's the same formula, slightly less good, but it like
well, that's the rub. Even if that's
Yeah.
true, if it's the same, I kind of agree with you for the most part. It is the same formula.
it's
Like,
the
they do
same formula.
It's the same basic logic when in the
Mhm.
previous films where things don't make sense, this movie does the
Yeah,
same
this
thing.
movie makes equally less
fundamentally.
sense. Yeah,
It's just no, but it does it even more severely. it's just like you said, it's less good
Yeah.
than
No, like
everything else.
the best quote I'm
So
going to
it's
lean
on
on
the
to is
lowest.
she's not here tonight, but Miriam Kenley, who I don't know if any of you have met, but she's on We Like Theme Parks with Jeanette, and I was discussing this movie with her
I've
the
met
other
Miriam.
night. Huh? Have you? I don't know if you've met.
I don't
Miriam.
know.
I don't
So
know.
it's a
I don't know.
name.
Miriam's a delight. Everyone here would love Miriam. She's amazing. Miriam's take, and I think it's
Pretty sure.
it's perfectly articulated. She said, "This franchise has always been camp. The fourth movie is just as campy as the others. Therefore, it's the same." And
But that's just a disagree.
Yeah.
It's more campy / just worse. Not even necessarily a matter of
No.
camp.
is it not?
No.
Wait, no, it's not more campy. Okay.
No, I disagree. The camp in the three previous movies
Mhm.
is so well done. Like everyone is on board for the camp. In this one, no one's buying into the camp. None of these actors are buying in. Like
Okay.
Harrison Ford is not buying it. He is old. He is tired. He doesn't want to be there. He's not buying in anymore. Karen Allen is trying so hard to be campy, and God love her, but it doesn't work. Kate Blanchett is taking it too serious. She's a serious actor. She's not doing the camp. Shia LaBeouf is a trash can on fire, not doing the camp. I mean, I don't know. Like everyone else in the previous movies were doing camp so well. They were committed to the bit. This one, same formula. No one was committed.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
It's very like
And
everybody's kind of hitting each
the
other.
the line that gives it away is when Indiana Jones says,
He's like, part-time.
like when Shia LaBeouf is like, "Oh, you're a
a teacher?
professor?
Yeah.
You do it full time or whatever?" And he's like, "Part-time." It's like the most half-assed thing I've ever seen a professional actor on film do.
And what's interesting about that line specifically is people have gone into this online. You can see videos of the delivery of the same line in the trailer. They use a much better take
Yeah.
where it's full of life and like it's a believable line. And for some reason, they use the bad take where it sounds like he's half asleep, and that's a common thing throughout the film. Harrison Ford feeling half asleep, which
Oh
is
yeah.
because in The Force Awakens, I think he had a pretty good performance. He seemed to be in it, and I think he was just excited that they were that was like the last Star Wars film.
Yeah, he knew
Yeah,
he
and
was
he,
going to
he
die.
knew he was going to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Wait, spoilers, but yeah. And I like
since the second movie.
I enjoy Harrison in this movie, I realized, because I don't know if I said this on this show or if this was part of my discussion on We Like Theme Parks the other night, but I feel like Harrison Ford, maybe in the same logic of where I feel like Meryl Streep is always 40, I feel like Harrison Ford has always been a grumpy old man at his heart, even when he was young. So it feels like he's finally aged into it in this movie. Granted, they have Indy doing a lot of things that looked not supernatural, like looked like it was being staged to make him do things physically that's Indy at that age probably wouldn't be able to do, which I thought, I'm not buying into this so much. But the moments when he was just crotchety and old and grumpy and still wearing the costume, which I thought was funny and hilarious, because like get a new outfit, Indy, that's age appropriate. It was so perfect for me for that character, because I think he's somebody who would not age out of it. He would just continuously keep going out on the adventures, wearing the hat and the leather jacket that he just like, it doesn't suit him anymore, but there he is. So I enjoy that in that respect, like old grumpy Indiana Jones, but like fully embracing Harrison Ford's natural state of being, as it were. I also don't necessarily mind the bad CGI because it's so evocative to me of when this movie came out, and the special effects are evocative of what was big, or not even what was big, of what they were capable of doing in the 80s and in the 90s. Or no, it was 89 was the last one. So yeah, in the 80s. So looking back on it now, I enjoy that unintentional bit of this didn't age well. So yeah.
The CGI stuff, I didn't mind it. Like it was of the time. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think there was a lot of inconsistencies within it. Like there was one part where I think I saw that the wheels weren't moving on the cars during the chase.
And where Shia's like between the two cars.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, the wheels aren't moving. Like, who missed that? I don't know. So, but like, it's fine. The early 2000s CGI is cool.
Yeah, like I felt like I was seeing Shia literally up against a green screen when he was between those two cars, and I thought that was charming. Then there were monkeys. I love monkeys. Where'd they go?
To the monkeys.
They went to the monkeys. Come back. Okay. What else did I like about this movie? I think the plot was exactly what the plot of every other Indiana Jones movie. What? Where did she go?
She had to go get some food. You've got me for the next little bit.
What did you do to her?
No.
Was it a crystal skull? Was it the wrong goblet? Did you open the ark?
No. She's drinking from the Holy Grail right now.
Okay, good.
That's all it is. We'll have Lisa forever.
Yeah. Well, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I feel like the plot, to me, it felt in the same style as what we've had in previous movies. I think it was a cool antithetical film to follow up Last Crusade, to have that movie be about him and his dad, and to have this movie be about him and his son. Granted, it's not so much focused on relationship building because he doesn't find out until like 3/4 of the way through, but still the father-son dynamic I thought was a nice little thing that they tied in. And I chuckled when he said, why didn't you make him finish school? Like, I thought that was a cute little moment, just seeing the hypocrisy.
Don't be so hard on him
in the character.
Don't be so hard on him with school.
Why
didn't you make him finish school?
See, I love that. I feel like we got great moments of showing me just where Indy is and where Marion is at that point in their lives. Like, those are probably my two characters, my two favorite characters of the franchise, even though I love Willie and the performance and everything. As I've said, I think Marion is my favorite female character overall. And yeah, I liked seeing this like next chapter for both of them and finding out what happened. And even though I don't like her with Indy, and I still don't like Indy as a character. At the same time, I was happy to see the wedding scene. It made me smile.
See, Mr. Yipchuk, I kind of agree with you, I think. So for me, upon reading approximately half of my dream journal, I didn't have a terrible time. And
wait, is your dream journal like, is it formatted like Wikipedia, like the plot description on Wikipedia? Is that what the dream journal looks like?
No, the dream journal. So it's kind of like really what it is it is like the mind palace, right? So it's like I go in here, I go into the palace, I find you ever seen the Sherlock with cucumber
with
man?
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Cucumber Strange. So it's like that. I go into my files. In my case, my dream journal files, they're like projector paper. Okay. Right. So then I put the paper on the projector on those old school, lights up the thing and it magnifies the light and then it projects it on
an overhead
screen.
Projector.
Overhead projector. So so then I get to, it's kind of like I get to see the images, right? So I kind of draw, like it's like the old Disney animators. I draw each frame of my dream and then I store it away. So I got to kind of watch like the movie in my mind type thing. That's how it's formatted. Good. So watching half of the movie in my mind, relating to the Nightmare of the Crystal Skull, I think what happened for me is that marathoning the Indiana Jones franchise, it gave me some new perspective, some fresh perspective, being older, and like Vince, I've landed on really kind of isolating Raiders of the Lost Ark as sort of it stands alone in a way. It's like this sort of like what Raiders does for me and what it represents for me is kind of is different than the rest of the other Indiana Jones films. So, and then everything else, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, kind of like what you were saying, Matt, in terms of the and Miriam, which I don't think I've met her actually. I looked at, I found a picture. She was saying about the, like, they're all camp type thing. Yeah, like it basically got to the point where Temple of Doom and Last Crusade kind of conditioned me to expect this sort of formula. And so kind of going through the Crystal Skull, the stupid stuff doesn't hit me quite as hard as it did when I first saw it. And it doesn't insult my intelligence as much as it did when I first saw it. Now it's like, okay, this is, like you're saying, this is the same formula, all the silly stuff that doesn't make sense. That's just, it's just, if it is worse, it's just a more exaggerated, more, a more courageous bending of the laws of physics or whatever than previous films have done. But still, they all bend the laws of physics. They all do. So, like, yeah, the fact that in this movie, the magnetism thing in the warehouse, that's pretty cray-cray. There's these slow shots, probably what you were saying, you and Lisa are saying, Vince, where they take like the bad shots. They have those in that warehouse scene, if you remember, where like when they're shooting at Indy, it's so like blatant how many like guns are firing at him at certain times, and it's just so crazy that they're all like not doing anything to him. And then also there's a scene where like they didn't have to, I don't know why they did it, but they show Indiana Jones, like they show two guys with guns turn and look at Jones, and like in frame they're just staring at him, and then like 2 seconds later they start like the effects for firing the weapons go off, and it's like, there he is, let's wait 2 seconds before we try to kill him, and it's this
I mean, George Lucas had his hands on this, and he invented stormtroopers.
Yes, but with stormtroopers, they just had terrible aim. The stormtroopers never stood or not never, I should say, but they're not infamous for looking at you and waiting a few seconds to fire. They're infamous for like either.
Oh, no, of course. But like Star Wars universe is one thing. It just feels very in the same, like of the same creator. is what I'm
Sure,
saying.
and we can
Yeah.
say that. But anyway, so some of the shots
Yeah.
in this scene, in this movie,
Like
rather,
some of the shots.
some of the shots and some of the shots,
Yeah.
double entendre, triple if we're spicy.
Yeah, triple. You're a triple agent.
Of course, because I play Alex Titai, the guy who watches the movies.
Yeah.
I also play Alex Titai, the guy who didn't watch the movie because he doesn't believe in the movie.
Right.
And I also play Alex Titai, the guy who discusses the movie by not discussing the movie.
Right. Now, see, I was quoting the one part of the movie that I would concede is ridiculous and terrible.
Well, it's probably the part of the movie that didn't make it. I didn't read
Into the Dream Journal. Yeah. Vince, did you get the reference?
Well, which part were you referring to?
Triple agent.
Oh, look, that was really
probably
stupid.
a verbatim quote, but
like we were back in Berlin, we were double agents, so you should have known I was a double agent. I think that character was stupid, shouldn't have been included. You know, Elisa made a fantastic observation that he reminded her of a British James Gandolfini, which I started putting on the Sopranos theme every time he showed up. You know, that kind of got me through the movie. But aside from that, I thought it was dumb. His death was so milquetoast and stupid. Like, why didn't he just why did he let go? Why was he like, oh, don't worry, I regret all my decisions and I deserve to die now? What? Worst triple agent ever.
No, he was a double agent. He was just lying about being a triple. No, he was a single agent. He was a single agent.
Capitalist at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he would have been a double agent, but yeah. Anyway, because back even when in the part of the Dream Journal that I saw, he kind of negotiates with India or whatever. He tries to get him like, hey, just like in Berlin, remember? So he already sets it up so that he's going to ultimately be on Indy's side.
No, but then at the very end, when they find the alien temple, just remind you, because it's not in your Dream Journal, he reveals that he is actually working with Cate Blanchett and the other people. He lied about the double. What the? How did Vince turn into Lisa so effortlessly?
We're magic.
What if Vince and Lisa aren't actually two different people?
Well, we've seen them together.
But what if?
I'd be on board with this theory if we hadn't literally.
Yeah, what if when they see them together, they just have like a friend or an actor who's
actually just a mirror.
Yeah.
It's illusion.
Yes, it's like a vampire. Like different.
I love that. I love it. It's headcanon now. There we are.
Professor Quill.
Canon. It's canon.
The back of Lisa is Vince. The back of Lisa is Vince. Don't turn around, Lisa. Don't ruin the magic. The theory is here. Vince is the back of Lisa. All right.
It's literally just Vince is me in drag. So
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
Wait,
right.
I am
Vince, or you're Vince in drag.
I am Vince in drag and he is me in drag. Yeah.
Both can be true.
Both are true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all drag.
I think Alex is so tiny. I'm loving this commentary. There we are. Let's talk more about Cate Blanchett, because I liked her performance, but now I can't stop thinking about what Lisa said and how it's right that she was too serious. But I like the character, because when I think about the really good Indiana Jones villains, like she's the only one I find memorable next to face melting Nazi man from the first one, and I think he set the standard for indie villains, and I don't think anyone really in Temple of Doom and
Raiders is the best.
Well, for certain reasons, yeah. It's my least favorite, but I can't deny it does some things very well, like that character. Like Temple of Doom, I don't think has an equally memorable single entity antagonist. There is the guy in Last Crusade who drinks from the Grail, but I barely remember him. He was just kind of boring, generic European white guy. But Cate's character, I thought she was interesting. I thought her performance was perfectly fine, but now the more I think about it, she could have amped up the camp. And I'm wondering if Cate Blanchett has ever gone super campy or done anything that's outside the realm of very good method style actor performance.
Well, Lord of the Rings, but it's not campy. It didn't but it's very fantastic.
It's heightened. It is heightened,
right? So
but
it's closest to
But she's still, from what I recall, granted, this is in my dream journal because I haven't seen that movie in a long time. But from what I recall, she's not doing very much, or it's very subtle. She's like a very...
Are you kidding me? I will be a queen.
Oh, that's
Not
true. That's true.
beautiful, but terrible as the dawn,
I-
merciless as the sea.
See, I don't consider that a
False
Kate
shall
performance. I
envy
consider
and
that to be a computer
despair.
performance because she turns into a green cartoon for like 5
Not
seconds.
green. It's like aqua.
Her most campy performance
Mhm.
was voicing the monkey in Pinocchio.
Yes.
That was her most campy performance. Yeah, that's it.
But
Everything
even that felt super serious, though. as for a
exactly,
monkey.
like she
Yeah.
took it so seriously. Yeah. No,
Mm.
I mean, look, I only watched this movie because of Kate Blanchett. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
And I like knowing that she was the villain, like before starting the movie, I was like, yes, because she plays a good villain. Have you seen Thor Ragnarok? Like,
Oh, true.
like
Hell.
that was
That's
like
the answer.
that is
Yes.
an amazing villainess, and like, you know, I was expecting something like that, and I did not get that.
It was
And I
very
don't-
one note. It was very
Yeah,
monotonous. And,
But in
yeah.
Soviet Union, Russia, this is the note. One note for all Russia.
if she pulled a Nicole Kidman and did a shitty accent, it would be sorry. It
Oh
would have been
gosh.
an amazing performance. But her Ukrainian
A
accent,
very
was
good
so-
accent.
It was too good. Like it was.
Right.
As good as this one. Almost. Almost.
I'm not
Too
going to
good.
comment on that.
Don't make me mute you, Alex.
But my one thing, aside from Kate's, like, you know, performance, I can't. I can't.
Alex, I'll put you in time. I want to hear what Lisa has to say. I'll put you in time.
I muted myself. You
I
can
know,
hear
but
me.
you were distracting. You'll be back.
Okay,
There
no.
we go.
So I just want to mention something that's so inconsistent is Kate's costume. Her costume is an excellent form-fitting jumpsuit for
Mhm.
the majority of the movie because I kept commenting on how wonderful she looked in this jumpsuit. And then after the waterfall scene, somehow her jumpsuit very, very subtly turns into pants and a longer shirt with the same belt. And I'm like, her bum does not look as good in this attire as the other. And why do we not see like a costume change of sorts if that was the case? And why was it such like a subtle change? Like why?
I
It's
feel
just
like
messy filmmaking.
I feel like that would be something that Kate had a hand in. And I don't know why. And I would want to hear her perspective because my understanding, oh, look, he's back. My understanding about Kate Blanchett from all the behind the scenes things I've heard is that she's very active in the costume phase of like
Yeah.
designing the costumes for her characters. And all the costume designers are like, she's a joy to collaborate with and etc. So I didn't notice that because I don't really pay attention to costumes unless they're at the forefront of the movie, like unless it's a costume heavy movie.
Look,
But
the only reason I knew was because I kept eyeing her bum.
there we go. But like,
And
I want to know
when
what
I
Kate. I want to know
saw
what Kate would say
pockets,
about this. Mhm.
I saw when I did not see the pockets on her like thumb anymore. I was like, there is something off here, and something has happened. Maybe they lost the costume. Maybe the costume person quit that day. I don't know. It was just disappointing.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Respectable. There we go.
we need to get Kate on the show.
We do need to get Kate on. I forgot to invite Shia LaBeouf. I actually didn't do it because I was scared he might actually show up.
Actually,
it. It's too late now. So here we are. So well, let's talk about Shia. I again thought it was a perfectly decent performance. I went in maybe it's because I had such low expectations. And I forgot that I enjoy him as an actor just because of how much he's been in the news for not acting related things over the past however many years. So I was pleasantly surprised with his performance in this movie. I thought the character as written was a nice counter to Indy. I thought he brought it in terms of an acting performance that could match Harrison Ford, even though granted Harrison was kind of checked out in this movie. So in some scenes, I would almost say that Shia was carrying it, but there we are. I liked him, and I feel like I felt a nice bond between him and Karen Allen. And I can't remember. I feel like Shia was very passionate about the Indiana Jones franchise, unless that was all marketing, which it very likely was. But to me, I was seeing an actor who seemed to be excited about the movie that he was in, and it felt like I felt the love for the role. And yeah, but I can tell. Lisa, what do you think? Because I know you said you weren't into Shia in this movie.
I've never liked this man, even in
Even Stevens.
Even
Oh
Stevens.
my.
Not it. But I would love to hear Alex's dream
Yes.
journal first, though.
Okay.
Before I continue.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I see how it is. I thought you genuinely wanted to hear my dream journal, but you
I
just
do. I'm just getting my mirror set up.
All right. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. All right. The mirror is up.
I just want to go on record and say I too was staring at Kate Blanchett's ass.
All right.
He did not notice
like,
the costume change, though.
In both costumes, or yeah. Okay.
In anything.
Good.
It's always on the ass.
Yeah.
All right. Does Kate Blanchett have I did not notice her ass. I got to go check
I
it out.
I will find a picture.
I'm sure there's a Tumblr. I'm sure we can find a Tumblr.
I'm into the ass, so
Yeah.
all right. But
what is this discussion turning into?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. So I mean, I like Shia LaBeouf. I mean, from Even Stevens. Not that I mean, he was a kid. I'm not going to say he was great or whatever. I just grew up with it, so that's that. But no, in this movie, I would say that I didn't love him. I thought part of it, kind of what I think Lisa might have mentioned earlier, / Vince and Lisa, there was this like almost like competing styles of acting in this film, right? We had like Harrison Ford doing his thing, Marion doing her thing, Shia doing his thing, Edina doing her thing, Kate Blanchett, yeah. So part of that I think contributed where I kind of felt like Shia was isolated in what he was trying to do, but I got from him, like I got him trying to be very engaged in the scene kind of all the time, which I liked, but it was almost engaged to the point of like obliviousness of what your partner's doing. So like there were like early scenes where he first meets Harrison, and it's like Harrison's just kind of like effortlessly, maybe interpreted as half-assedly. I interpret it as kind of more just like he's old indie. Like Harrison Ford kind of it does the same thing in every movie he's in. He's just being himself.
Yeah.
and just doing his thing and not trying too hard ever. And so and in this movie he has the added advantage of being older, playing effectively his real age. Anyway, so across from like Harrison, you got this like almost try hard performance from Shia LaBeouf, I feel, where he's not that he's like, yeah, he's just his character is simultaneous, like his character aesthetic is this greaser jacket, knife wielding, like, I don't know, cool guy, if you will, and cool / tough guy, but his acting and eagerness to be in the scene is kind of counter to that, I feel. And I don't know if that comes through like to be a character trait where his character is this, it's the contrast of his appearance versus his internal experience. He's insecure inside and worried about all kinds of things, but he's portraying the opposite outside. Or if it's, the other thing, he's being an engaging, try-hard actor, but his character isn't necessarily trying to be that in all scenes. So, or the engagement is betraying some of the aspects of his character, or the aesthetics of his character, if you will. But yeah, so overall, I didn't personally love Shia LaBeouf in the first half of my dream journal. I
Hmm.
but I didn't hate him. I just thought there was something disjointed. He was just kind of like, yeah, he wasn't meshing with the other characters around him. For me,
I think that's a very diplomatic way of saying what I would say.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
Yeah, no, I just didn't like him. I feel like I feel like I mean, I don't like him as a person based on, the news.
the cannibalism.
Yeah, the cannibalism.
What? Now,
Also, like,
Wait, he's hanging
I thought-
out with Army Hammer?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What? Army Hammer?
Anyway,
anyway, yes, there's the whole situation with FK Twigs and like that abusive relationship, like no bueno. Like he seems like an awful guy. But you know what? Harrison Ford doesn't seem like a great guy either. But I've been watching these movies, so I guess I'm picky and choosy with toxic men. Doesn't matter. To talk about his acting in this, let's just focus in. Yeah, like he was very like try hard, and I didn't understand like the cool boy aesthetic he was going for. It seemed very inconsistent and maybe it's because he was just so excited to like do the franchise and was trying to be cool for Harrison Ford. I don't know, whatever. That's his dialogue, but it was disappointing because, and I don't know if it's specifically the writing for the character, but there was this dissonance of being cool and then also like being a bratty kid to his estranged father and really kind mom. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was playing into these archetypes of like cool guy, bratty kid, and it was very two-dimensional as a viewer. And I was like, I feel like if you could get a better actor into that role, like River Phoenix, if he was still alive, I think there could be like a really interesting
Milo Ventimiglia.
Oh yeah, Milo Ventimiglia, who is famous for This Is Us and Gilmore Girls.
And he's Rocky's son in Rocky 6.
Although he looks too Italian, in my opinion. So I don't think he could pull off the yeah.
Oh, but doesn't Marion have a bit of an Italian vibe in her? Doesn't
Not
she?
really.
She's raven haired. She's
no, she's Ravenwood. She's Ravenwood.
But isn't she black? Isn't her hair black?
That's all it takes to be Italian.
I
right?
still think
pretty much
Jewish.
Yeah,
be Italian.
And a lot of Italians get mistaken for Jewish people. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think he is not the best. He's not a well-rounded actor, especially if you compare him to Cate Blanchett, who clearly was like very complex in her very serious role as this villain. He didn't hold up, and introducing a new character who doesn't hold up into this franchise is weak to me. So that's why I'm really terrified for the new movie where
Phoebe
Waller-Bridge, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Phoebe. Phoebe.
From Fleabag.
Phoebes.
Yeah, Phoebe. If she can pull a Shia LaBeouf, and it could be bad.
I don't really know Phoebes from anything. Also, I know very little about this movie, about Dial of Destiny at least. So, and I'm trying to keep it that way. Yeah,
me neither. I haven't seen a trailer. I refuse to watch a trailer. But knowing her work, like she is a very strong writer and she's a strong comedian. She's British. So far we're doing better than Shia LaBeouf.
She did the one woman show, right? Like
Fleabag
was
Fleabag
show
was a one-woman theater show. Yeah, that got picked up to do.
Morgan agrees. The entire movie seemed very key smell together for the
key smell together.
Thinking maybe this might have been a voice of text situation.
Yeah, you seem very something together for the entire part, like mushed together in a poor quality way.
I will say that I do think there is a disjointed factor to this movie where it's kind of trying to be a lot of things and is none of them at the same time. Because even though it takes place in the 50s, aside from a few scenes at the beginning, it doesn't feel particularly 1950s. It's still, and like, granted, I know that they're like in and around ancient ruins, and like that is not going to feel like they're not going to put a 50s diner inside a Mayan pyramid. But at the same time, it doesn't have the same nostalgic feel for that era that I think the previous movies do for when they take place, like the 30s, etc.
Yeah.
So,
Although I would kind of disagree.
but like towards the beginning, absolutely, like we have a scene in a 50s diner and then a bunch of greasers get into a fist fight. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you're trying
that's great.
so hard with putting Shia in that leather jacket and holding his hair back the entire freaking
Every
film.
10 seconds.
Hey, he has curly hair. Just let him have curly hair, man.
No, no, no. Stop it. Stop playing with your hair, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Be cool, boy.
but I will say
Real cool.
this- that was really beautiful. But I will say this is not so much Shia; it's more of the writing.
Yeah.
Does the whole plot of him, like Marion being kidnapped and then sending a letter to Shia to find this professor who he doesn't know is his father, and she won't tell him that he's his father, and then like going on this adventure with this strange professor guy, like it doesn't make any sense. And I get most of Indiana Jones is not supposed to make sense into the act, like the lead into the action, but that really didn't make any sense because I was like, why does Indy want to bring this kid along for the ride? Like, he's not a hot lady, he's not his dad, he's like, hasn't gone to school, like,
Right.
he seems like a bum, and like, why would you want to bring this strange brat along with you?
Well, isn't it because of Ox? Because of
that's the connection.
Like, yeah,
it's like Indy.
I mean, I don't think it's a good connection. I don't think it's a very good connection, but
yeah,
I think that's
it's a decent connection. It's in Indy. It's an old friend of Indy's. That's why Indy's interested. That doesn't solve why Indy necessarily
even though
cares about tagging along with the
Ox
kid.
is a weird character that like I didn't care for, but
Hey,
sure.
Played by the great John Hurt. The
Yes.
great John Hurt.
Oh, is that John Hurt?
It is
I
John
love
Hurt.
I love John Hurt.
Yeah, I
the
like
one
that
chooses
character a
the
lot.
wizard.
I will. This is my hot take on the Harry Potter movies. I think he put in the best performance out of all of those movies as Ollivander, of all the actors.
Even Maggie
I
Smith?
mean, sure.
Even Maggie Smith,
But
yeah.
that doesn't mean that every other performance was bad. It just
No, not
means
at
that it
all.
was
Not
so
at all.
great.
I think all the performances are great because it's like the top tier British actors of the time, and then the next generation of people that generally became really good, talented actors, and then one that was horribly miscast, but no shade against that particular child actor because you can't win them all when you're casting them at 10 to play a role for 10 years. But, and, oh, well, you can guess. But yeah, I feel like John Hurt as Ollivander is my personal favorite acting performance out of all of those 8 movies because it's so good. There's so much that happens in like those few minutes. All this to say, I love John Hurt. I just don't like Ox, but yeah.
But was Ox ever in the other movies?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's the thing.
He didn't even show up in Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah. And you had mentioned this throughout the watching experience, that there are so many old friends in this movie that we've never seen in the other 3 movies.
That's what I asked. Yeah. No, I was just going to bring that up, that for me, as somebody who has just a passing interest in this franchise and has only seen the movies maybe now twice all the way through, when they mention somebody from his past in a movie like this, 3 movies in, I assume that they existed in the previous franchises. Then I have to pull up the Inda Wiki, the Indapedia, I don't know what's actually called, and see if they existed, and they don't. It's just like, no, it's just someone that Indy knew. Even though, granted, they kind of did that in previous installments as well, like in Temple of Doom at the beginning when his friend dies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, we've had all these adventures together. In that movie, I liked it because for me, it was a story I didn't need to have filled in for me. I just bought into it. But I think it's a different dynamic when you're this deep into the franchise. I think there's an expectation, especially when you're revisiting something like 20 plus years later. And fan service is definitely a thing that you have to consider when you're writing a movie like this. Yeah, to say this is a character from Indy's past, there should be a connection to a person from previous movies.
I mean, Marion's a pretty great like fan servicey character in my opinion. Like, so the movie can get away with a lot by giving us Marion, I feel. The but is that like I agree with what you're saying in principle that there is such a history in the films that like they have, again, in theory, a number of characters that they could draw from, as opposed to creating entirely new characters. Having said that, there is also the fact that even though we do have 3 previous films, allegedly, that they're not like comprehensive windows into Indy's past life. So
Right.
it's not like it's unbelievable, right? And then even like the way the movie opens, like they talk about like the medals Indy's won in like the war, and it's like, what are you talking about? Indy never fought in a war. But you know, there's time has passed. He could have easily, presumably, that's what he did. Although that's kind of a funny, or not funny, but just kind of a strange thing to imagine. You know,
Although
archaeology professor Indiana Jones, you know, being a soldier, but and listening to orders. But yeah. Anyway, so that's what I would say to that. But yeah, the sentiments remains. Like, you guys are. I think I agree with you that like there are enough other characters in the other films that you could just draw on them to an extent. I don't know who died by that point. I don't know if everybody was still alive in 2008. In fact, I'm forgetting his name, but the guy in Last Crusade, he's canonically dead in Crystal Skull. I don't know if that actor had died. Yeah, Marcus. I don't know if that actor had died or is dead or what's going on or why they decided to do that.
But I like the little nod there that the character's spirit lives on when his head fell off on the statue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then Shia laughs and Indy's like, no, this isn't funny. That's Marcus.
Yeah, I thought that was goofy, but yeah, it was a bit of a nice. It was nice, and also a bit of a Simpsons reference, I think.
Who gets decapitated in The Simpsons?
Yeah, the statue. Anyway,
I never watched The Simpsons.
Sorry, wrong crowd.
The Springfield, the Jebediah Springfield statue.
Yeah, iconic episode.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. Matt laughed.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Okay. There we are. So something that I think is fun with this movie, and I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I read a while ago, and I didn't pull up the source, so I can't cite it, but Spielberg, as what I recall, was hesitant to revisit the franchise, and then George Lucas talked him into it. And
yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Part of Lucas's logic to sign him on board was saying, like, okay, so originally the movies were a throwback to those like action adventure serial movies that we loved, because that was very much a 30s, 1940s brand of entertainment. This movie is going to take place in the 50s, ergo this can be a throwback to like 1950s alien movies. And then Spielberg liked that idea, and that's what sold him. But this movie, I feel, is not that whatsoever. Minus the presence of aliens, I don't think there's anything structurally or visually, or there's just nothing to me that's evocative of that style and that era of filmmaking, minus, again, the presence of aliens. So I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts on if you agree with me, or if you can enlighten me to how this is like a campy 50s alien movie.
Well, I want to say right off the bat, before Vincent opens his mouth, that just joking. We're friends here. I'm not going to cut anybody off.
You ready to go?
I'm not ready. All right. I'm not ready. On my part. I retract it. All right.
I think we should let Vincent speak first.
Yeah. Let's
No.
Okay. I promise. No bad references this time. Okay. What was it? Okay. Look, I think it's a terrible George Lucas idea, one of many, connected to 1950s aliens. It doesn't work. They don't even connect it to good alien movies like The Day the Earth Stood Still or something. I don't know. Look, I like the idea of the United States military having access to, alien technology that's kind of in the zeitgeist these days. It's a very popular topic of discussion.
Oh yeah, Obama also did not deny it, I will say.
True.
I found it. Yeah, no, I found a TikTok. Someone asked him, "Are there aliens?" And then he responds exactly the way that you would expect the former president to respond. He just says, "I can't answer that."
Mr. Ipchuk,
with a little bit of a head nod.
The end of this year is coming, and when it does, you'll be a poorer man.
That's a good point. And like, I guess in that respect, this movie's a little prophetic,
Yeah.
more than like a throwback to 1950s stuff.
Yeah.
I still don't love it, but like, it is a bit of a, I don't know. It brings attention to the the story of Bob Lazar and Area 51. You guys ever hear about that?
Tell me, because I have not.
Bob Lazar, he's like considered a whistleblower. He is a former employee of the United States military. He was a scientist working in a base, said he saw an alien, said that the U.S. military has access to alien technology that was recovered in an archaeological dig, and has since reverse engineered this technology and is using it in secret military operations. So that's floating around since the 80s, and I'm sure that inspired the plot of this a bit. Especially the scene in the beginning with the warehouse. I don't know. I guess they make it pretty clear that Indiana Jones was brought to deal with the Roswell incident.
Yeah.
So that would have been a cooler movie, I think.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't really work because he's not 10 years. I don't know. He would have been too old.
We already have Independence Day. We don't need another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another Roswell alien movie. Independence Day is great.
But like, I guess the thing with like George Lucas saying, "Oh, let's harken back to the 1950s movies." Those movies, are a very specific like essence.
Yeah.
In terms of like style and the plot line, which doesn't fit the formula of an Indiana Jones movie. And fine, you can like try to, make it work for it, but that's not what they were doing. They like it, like the whole idea of an alien movie. Like I think about like the Thing, or even I think the Invasion of the Body Snatchers were in the 50s, but like still kind of the same genre and like feel.
Yeah.
Is that like it's in America, like it's in the States, like they're not going out like globally somewhere else, and they're not dealing with like other cultures and other ancient cultures. So when you add those two things in, you're detracting from this Americana horror alien genre already, because that's just not it. Like that's not the feel. I think it was a poor decision on Lucas's part and a poor decision on Spielberg's part for saying yes.
Yeah. I was just going to say basically very similar to what you just said, Lisa, in the sense, specifically the idea, like imagining how you take a 1950s style alien film and combine that or insert that into an Indiana Jones film. And I think personally, they did that in the sense that because what you were saying, Matt, as well, which is very similar here, like, yeah, there's nothing about this movie seemingly, with the exception of some of the props, i.e. the alien bodies and the aliens. There's nothing about this movie that like represents those films or that style and that storytelling. And but it's like, okay, if you wanted to like do your best, what would you do? And it's like, in this film they've opted to keep the formula and the style of Indiana Jones and just throw in some aliens here and there. And for the most, it's like imagining this movie with more aliens, like everybody, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like everybody's an alien or whatever, like Indy's like, it's like take Indiana Jones and put him in not an Indiana Jones film, put him in an alien film.
Yeah.
That's not an Indiana Jones film anymore. Would that have been better than this film?
Yeah.
Possibly, but it wouldn't have been
I
necessarily.
I would have loved that.
Sure, but it would have been like a spin-off, a new genre. It wouldn't have been a continuation of the Indiana Jones canon. Yeah. Or again, it wouldn't have been an Indiana Jones film. Just like,
because you need stone. You need ruins that are stone, I feel, in an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, just like Last Jedi wasn't a Star Wars movie.
Last Jedi is the best Star Wars. Okay, we can't.
Not a Star Wars movie. Today. The alien Indiana Jones wouldn't have been an Indiana Jones film. Whereas this, for better or for worse, is an Indiana Jones film. with aliens inserted.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I want to hear what Lisa has to say
Me
about
too.
the alien bodies because I saw your hand.
Oh, it's the head, the skull, that
Yeah.
prop. I'm sorry. Did they pick it up from like a party Halloween stuff it with cellophane? Because that's what it looked like. And I have seen props designers, head of props in theater do amazing work where everything looks like realistic. And I've never seen an alien head, but I know my props designer would never make something look that shitty for a theater show. And the fact they allowed that on the set of a $1 million film, like, is outrageous. And the fact that they were treating it like it was like crystal, I'm like, it clearly looks plastic. It clearly looks like it doesn't weigh anything because it's just filled with air. I'm so angry at this prop.
Oh, see,
Angrier.
I agree with everything you're saying, but that's why I liked the prop because to me it felt so appropriate to like, and it's such a like hypocritical thing for them to try to make a B movie with the millions of dollars that they made this movie with. But there's something to me that's very charming about getting a very cheap thing, building a movie around it, and having the actors act like it's the most precious thing ever. Like it's kind of like a throwback to me of in Empire Strikes Back when they have that ice cream maker that the guy's escaping with, and then later on it became canon as its own thing in the Star Wars universe. Like just take this thing that the low budget filmmakers have available to them and have the cast treat it like it's the most precious thing in the world. I think there's something fun and charming about that. But also this movie doesn't earn that right because at this point in the franchise, like we know that this movie has all the millions of dollars behind it. So I don't know. I think there's something to be discussed there about can a movie where the charm is the camp and the low budget feel, not to say that the original franchise was low budget ever, because by then they had money, but that was the charm of it to some degree of it being evocative of low budget movies. Can that be recreated when you actually have the money to do all the things? I don't know.
I think what you're describing, I think that works in something like Pulp Fiction, you know, where they have a briefcase with the 40-watt light bulb in there and nothing else.
Right.
That works. But this is a film called The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That prop needs to look good.
The prop needs to be bulletproof, I think. But like, I don't know. What about the prop at the very beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
The gold thing.
Gold. That looked legit.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look like, and it looked like it had weight to it. They used the right sound effect, I guess. Every single one of the Holy Grails in the Last Crusade looked pretty good. You know,
I hate to defend this garbage film, but the fact is that they've already established a pattern of inconsistency in the movie, i.e. they have this like highly magnetized thing that actually doesn't work like half the time like a highly magnetized thing would. So in that same vein, like the fact that the skull looks the way it does and looks like it weighs what it does, like it doesn't, it has all these contradictory elements, but that's throughout the whole film. We have Irina telling you she can read your mind and then saying, I'm just going to torture you. You know, we have all these elements of the movie that are contradicting themselves, that they kind of at that point in the movie when the crystal skull shows up, it's like they were on that path already. You know, they had no choice but to live in the land of contradiction.
But
so
isn't that just weak storytelling though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, well, all of these like inconsistencies, we're just gonna keep throwing them at you, folks.
But you're right, except that if you were to have a bunch of inconsistencies and have just one element not be contradictory and sort of be internally consistent, then that would just stand out like a sore thumb.
No, that would be good.
This way we have
film.
No, we don't want like one like great prop in a land of like
of terrible props.
We want everything to be terrible. That our brains don't explode like Kate Blanchett's did. All right, the movie's just trying to look out for us and give us a steady, comprehensible stream.
I think you're giving the movie too much credit.
Yeah.
No. It's just doing.
Even though I'm still the sympathizer for this movie, the defender, because I still love this movie.
Apologies.
Well, love is a strong word. I still enjoyed this movie, but yeah.
I would have liked to see Kate Blanchett play a 1950s Nazi, because the Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they had to like shoehorn in like this Eastern Ukrainian Soviet lady, it was dry for me.
That's true. There has been no shortage of Nazis in this franchise already.
So just add more.
just keep going. Exactly.
I hope the new one deals with
It does.
What
Great.
does it? When does the new one take place? The 70s or the 60s? I would guess.
The 70s or early 80s.
ooh
Like around
80s? No.
Around the time of the release of the first movie.
Do you think he's gonna go see the first movie?
Oh, that would be great.
Is that how we think Dial of Destiny ends? He walks into the theater to watch Raiders.
Right.
Indy's not going to walk into a theater. He's probably going to die. But if he doesn't die, he's not going to walk into a theater.
He can't die. He drank from the
The fountain of the
Oh, Kristen, this is awful. I just said that this is worse than Peter Pan.
No, apparently Kristen didn't like this either. Normally, I feel like Kristen and I agree. I thought she'd be on my team. Morgan says this movie made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Oh, Morgan's actually here. Well, let's read her comment first. Then I'll bring Morgan in. The timelines don't make sense. The plot doesn't make sense. Nothing lines up or makes sense. Morgan, explain.
Hi. Sorry, I finally got home. So I just felt like this whole movie. So I've never watched Indiana Jones until this moment. And so
Is this your first movie that you
Is
started
this the
with?
first Indiana Jones movie you've ever seen? Or did you see the
so
others?
so I've been supposed to be on almost every single week. So I started at the first one and watched them every single week.
Good.
And just kept having things come up where I couldn't come on. I've watched every single one. So, but this is my first time watching this one. And I don't know, the whole thing just didn't make sense. It didn't line up with like the previous Indiana Jones movies. Not that they really made any sense either. The whole time jump thing doesn't make sense, where he now has a kid who's 22, yet there's only like the last movie was in like the 30s, the 40s.
Last movie was 38, but he would have been conceived in 36. When does Raiders take place? 36? 35?
35.
Yeah, so then 35, 45.
So this
should, in theory, be like 57, 58.
Yeah, and so he had to have been conceived just after Raiders.
But it doesn't seem like that with the way they talk, because it seems like
we don't. Yeah,
like everything seems like it was supposed to have happened like 20, like they were together for a little bit after Raiders, but then they weren't, and then like I don't know. It just that none of it lined up. None of it makes sense. And as I've gone through every single movie, it makes less and less sense to me. And I don't know if that's because I'm spoiled, because like the only action stuff I've ever watched has been like Marvel or DC, where you have all the backstory. And if there's something missing, it's because you didn't do something you were supposed to like watch.
Right.
Whereas I've watched all the movies, so I'm not sure what I'm missing. And so it just doesn't make sense. And then the whole storyline with them being in the 50s, right? The 50s?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the 50s, but yet nothing seems like the 50s, and it seems like it's actually way in the future. Like a lot of the stuff, I was just like, this isn't matching up, and none of this makes sense.
Yeah, that one, like, I know Matt brought up that point earlier too, where he was saying as compared to previous films, that this movie seemed less in its time period, like seemed less of the period that it was supposed to be taking place in. And
then the whole plot itself just doesn't, like, first they're worried about him getting fired because of whatever, and then suddenly this kid comes in, and now they're running from the Russians,
the Nazi,
right?
not Nazi, yeah.
Nazis.
No, the Russians, the Soviets, the Reds.
Yeah. And they're running from the Soviets, but then it has something to do with aliens. which causes them to go to Peru. And it's just, I'm just like,
Peru's great.
what is going on? Like, this movie seems like they threw a bunch of stuff in a bag, and whatever they pulled out is what they made.
That is, yeah, there may be something to say about this movie and how it well, because like, for example, if we compare it to like Temple of Doom, for example, that movie, relatively speaking, is like kind of probably
It reminded me a lot of Temple of Doom, which
Yeah.
is also very hodgepodgey, and I was like, what's going on?
Well, I was going to
Oh,
say the Temple
I
of
love
Doom is like
Temple.
linear, where it's like they kind of start, the movie starts, and then it kind of, you know, you end up in the village, you go to the like the city where the temple is, and they stay there for like most of the movie. But a lot of the like the indie films, like I guess that's kind of unique in that sense. But my first point was going to be that a lot of the Indiana Jones films don't necessarily like the setting, they don't go out of their way to play the period. I find like the locations in Last Crusade, a lot of them still look like they like that today, like a lot of the like cities like Venice or whatever and stuff like that. Like so for me, this movie didn't really have that issue that you identified earlier, Matt, and that similarly you're sort of speaking to, Morgan, where it didn't like the fact that it doesn't, I agree that it doesn't like feel like a 50s movie or like it takes place in the 50s per se, but the other films, I mean, they only feel more comfortable in their setting to me because they're old movies and not because anything that they do in the movies is especially of the period that it's taking place in.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Like, I mean, the other movies do have like guns that are representative of the technology to an extent, and vehicles and planes and stuff like that. But it's, I mean, World War II especially is like that, whatever, like the 30s to the 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, like the technology was all kind of like happening. So seeing stuff that's a little bit older, a little bit more modern, that's kind of explainable to an extent. Like a lot of the new technologies that happened after the Second World War were already being developed and, you know, prototypically used prior to the war or during the war. So anyway, this is kind of where my head goes. But
I just think they could have done so many other things with this movie. Like, okay, if you're gonna lean into the Russian angle, then lean into the Cold War angle. Why are we suddenly incorporating aliens into this? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we could have had an Indiana Jones, like basically the Last Crusade / Raiders of the Lost Ark, but instead of Nazis, it's communists. It's the, you know, Cold War era Soviet Union.
I wonder though, like watching Raiders in the 70s, like when it came out, I would have felt if it was inaccurate to the time, because like watching it now at the first glance, I was like, yeah, it seems like it's in the 30s. But then like when we were talking about it and Jeanette bringing up the inconsistencies with the costumes specifically for Marion, like those were 1970s dresses. It was not a 1930s look for her.
And I think that's why I'm so confused, because I didn't even know this took place in the 30s. I thought this took place in the 1800s. I'm not even gonna lie. I was
way off.
Lost.
Yeah,
because it doesn't look like anything from the 1900s that we would typically see, like maybe the early 1900s, but I figured since we're going all the way back to someone using a whip, it's got to be late.
People still use whips nowadays, Morgan.
Lion tamers.
But
the circus,
like the tank. Where was the tank?
Oh yeah, in Last Crusade, right?
In World War II, like that was weird.
Right.
But they
World War gave it to them.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
yeah. They would have still had access.
Here's my personal tank. That's like an antique.
Yeah. It wasn't like, you know, super unrealistic for that to be used in that part of the world, but it still is not period appropriate.
I feel like you guys really sympathize.
The only reason they wrote that line in was obviously because they could only get their hands on a World War I tank prop.
Right.
Yeah.
They just tried to make it work.
And they were
the story.
Hey, it's from a local warlord, so that's how we're writing ourselves out of that corner.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones never been careful about like anything in terms of plot details and continuity and that kind of stuff. So, Yeah, like none of the movies, like Raiders perhaps is the least sinful of the films, but none of the movies do an especially, like you were saying, Lisa, like the fact like Miriam's dresses, like that's totally consistent with Indiana Jones like level of consistency and period appropriateness. Like that's what they
Are we just realizing that like does this fourth film just make us realize like the entire series is just
not good?
Well, no. Hey.
Oh no, I think this maybe this is why I like this movie, because I don't think I've cared for the others minus Temple of Doom that much. So for me as a viewer, this is just on par with what I've been watching the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I wasn't supposed to be on the first one, so I watched the first and the second back to back. That was a terrible choice because I literally wanted to claw my eyes out. And I thought Marion,
the second's the best one.
I thought Marion especially was the worst actress I'd ever seen. And I thought her role was like terrible. I was like, how many times can you get kidnapped? Why are you not like just jumping out of the basket? Like just jump.
No.
You just jump.
Just move.
Just
all right. That's more of a plot thing. That's not a shade on Marion.
That's not Karen's fault.
Yeah. I don't know. I also thought her voice was annoying, but this one I liked her a lot better in.
Okay.
I love.
All right, hold on. She liked her in this movie better. All right.
I did like her in this movie better. I hated the Andy. I was like, stop screaming.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Willie?
That's what Marion does.
Willie does a lot of screaming.
She does a lot of screaming too.
She's more of a screamer than Marion.
She was also equally as terrible.
No, but I feel like Marion does scream indie in that voice. Like that was a fairly decent Marion impression that you just did, Morgan.
They both do.
Andy!
Willie does it a lot more and a lot worse, which is why I hated that movie.
Oh, I love
why
Willie.
Are you screaming? You're so. This would be the worst time to scream right now.
No, I want her to scream more in that movie. She's hilarious.
So I thought that was that, but I digress. Anyway, I liked her better in this movie, but I was just like, I don't understand where all this like sudden like, I don't know. I felt like in the first movie, she was very like Velma, help me, or Daphne, oh, I can do something, but then I get kidnapped, come save me kind of energy. And then when I saw her in this movie, I was like, how are you suddenly a different person? Like I don't understand. What
20 years?
Yeah, what about all her drinking? What about all her drinking men under the table? That's pretty badass.
But then she just gets
alcoholic problem is not bad.
Well, all right. But being a better alcoholic than the other guys, when the game in town is being an alcoholic, it's kind of badass to be the best alcoholic.
But then
I'm not saying alcoholism is badass.
She just sits under the bar while her entire bar goes to waste.
Well, what should she do?
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, see, Kristen, once again, we're aligned.
Willie is my favorite too. Yeah.
No, I maintain I love Marion overall for the whole for Indy but like Willie is the most entertaining, and I love Kate Capshaw and Temple of Doom.
All of these movies, I have like there has not been one like when I had to watch this one, I would kind of dreaded it and put it off because I was like, I don't want to have to sit through another one.
But this is the worst one.
That's what I've heard.
Raiders
was the worst one, but honestly, I kind of liked it better. But maybe that's because I knew Shia LaBeouf, and I've seen him in other stuff. But I do think that this was his worst movie I've ever seen of him.
Mike Hyde says he's the best actor in the movie. It's a hot take.
Does he mean that Shia LaBeouf outside in meta outside of the indie film? Just as an actor is the best actor of all the other actors?
Oh, interesting.
Or is he saying that he's the best performance in this movie? Film?
Mike Hyde, elaborate.
Either way, I think he's wrong, but he has more of a case for the first argument than the second one, in my opinion. But
yeah, I don't know. I just felt like this whole thing was just so, and I kind of felt like the whole movie. I was like, oh, this is gonna be his son. Oh, it's gonna Marion's gonna be his mom. Yeah. And because they were dropping those little crumbs, but I wanted it to be a bigger setup. The alien thing really threw me. That's what really threw me. I was like, why aliens and why are they crystal? That makes sense.
Well, that's just what their skeletons are. We just accept it.
Yeah,
I bet
magnetism.
I bet
like
it, I
magnetism.
bet on their interdimensional plane, if they saw our skeletons, they'd be like, why whatever bone is made of?
That's a good point,
What is
Mr.
bone?
Oakville.
What is bone made of?
Calcium.
Calcium? Yeah.
Craft
Yeah, like
Amongst other things.
Singles.
calcium.
Singles and calcium.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting, no, that's the wrong word. Something I feel didn't age well with this movie, which is very hand in hand with this franchise, things not aging well.
Yeah.
It perpetuated this whole myth of ancient cultures needed aliens to help them be smart, which I
Yeah.
was that just me or did anyone else pick up on that when they were like, oh, they taught them farming and they taught them water irrigation.
Yep.
And
Well, the caveat to that is that it is a legitimate topic of like study and research of ancient history, right? And where exactly where exactly and how exactly certain technologies and practices came from, right? So maybe like even something like agriculture, where there's history of when agriculture started, like there's evidence of when agricultural practices started in human history, but there's not a clear understanding as to why all of a sudden humans went from like hunter gatherers to practicing farming. So as it stands in our real world outside of Indiana Jones, it's not like we don't need aliens, or we don't need, it's not like necessarily there's a missing link per se, but we also don't have like, we can't point our finger and say, oh yeah, after 100,000 years of hunter gathering, it just, there's a, like, I can draw you, or I can paint the picture as to why. It's like, we know it happened around a certain time, but we don't know exactly why. If it was just some spontaneous thing that some people started understanding the virtues of planting shit versus just eating it immediately. We don't know why. So that, I just want to throw that out there to say that like there are people, kind of, Vince mentioned Bob Lazar earlier. There are people who are like pro UFO, UAP, aliens have visited Earth, and they will suggest that aliens have, and that's, so that's one thing. And two, they went to Peru in the movie and they showed you those like aerial those are real phenomenon, those
Yeah.
The NASCAR lines.
the NASCAR lines. And you probably may have heard historically or whatever at some point people talking about like the pyramids in Egypt and around the world, and sort of discussing the fact that like even with current technology it'd be very difficult, if not practically impossible, to build certain structures that have clearly been built in ancient history. And so there is a very real discussion or very real mystery behind some of the phenomenon and structures that did exist. So I don't believe in anything that I don't see evidence for, typically, but yeah, so there, I acknowledge that there are things that we don't have explanations for. And so does that mean aliens? No, but the movie giving us that, like, talking about that idea of like aliens, like again, whether there's myths about this, right? Prometheus gave man fire, all these kind of things, like the store, both the
Prometheus wasn't an alien, he was a god.
Yeah, but like,
way more
civilizations, maybe not.
Oh,
yeah. Marvel, if Marvel taught us anything, it's that gods are aliens. So they just people who on other planets. But yeah, so anyway.
I will say, like, I believe in aliens. I love the concept of aliens. I am an alien fan all day. Come and abduct me. I'm ready.
probe away.
Come.
The orifices.
That's terrible.
But I will say, like, it does discount a lot of ancient civilizations on their knowledge and skills for, whatever they were doing. Because and the reason why I say this is because so much history and knowledge has been lost. Like, think about like the burning of Alexandria. There was a whole global library there that we could have had access to if it wasn't for that terrible incident where we just lost all that knowledge. And I think, and I also think it's a very like it's a very Eurocentric thing to say, these cultures that are not within the European region had to have done these civilizations through extraterrestrial means. It's just like kind of discounting the fact that they could have had technologies and understandings of how to build these amazing structures. And also, like, you know, just the same things that, you know, the white colonizers were doing, slavery. Like, they also had like implementations of those awful oppressive actions as well. But,
like
yeah.
massive things can be accomplished without regard for humanity, as it were. Like, if you look at movies that were made even in the 20s and 30s before certain regulations came into place, like some of the stuff that they did with crowd scenes, for example, are spectacular, but then you find out like, oh, 17 extras died because they drowned and got pneumonia because they were in the water for 25 hours or whatever. Like, that's a mild exaggeration, but not by very much. So I think that's another thing to not discredit, that from our perspective now, I think we think of things in terms of what we could do now with regulations and regard for how many people can work on a project and how long they can work on a project, as opposed to when you have an unlimited means of people that you're forcing to work literally around the clock for years on end to build your beautiful pyramid.
But also, like, I think, I mean, this is getting into conspiracy land, but
let's go. This is the Alien movie. Let's go into conspiracy land.
But from, like, what's his name? Graham
Hancock.
So we love this guy who's I would call him a historian.
He's a journalist.
He's a journalist historian, and he talks a lot about how the human history that we know that goes as far back is actually like young, and there is more past that, where there could have been like an extinction, and then it's the start of our human history. But like, there could have been civilizations on Earth, I like to think, like walking around with the dinosaurs, you know.
No, he doesn't go that far.
That's
a representation of this poor journalist's views. I just he talks largely about the Younger Dryas impact event that dates back 12,800 years into the Ice Age. Generally, he talks about like a cosmic impact that created a lot of meltwater. North American glaciers would have caused a mass flood all across North America and increased rain season all over the world around 12,800 years ago, i.e. any civilization that was on a coastline at the time probably would have experienced some form of collapse due to massive water rising in a short period of time.
Which
specifically
is way before we understand human history to have started.
That's right.
Yeah.
But then there's some archaeological sites around the world, like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, that this site it's basically Stonehenge in the Middle East, except it's way bigger. There's very intricate carvings on them, and it was intentionally buried at the same time of this impact 12,800 years ago. So I don't know how we got on this, but we're talking about the Dryas impact event right now, and I'm so happy.
No, we're talking about the impact of like saying aliens exist and aliens help these like really destitute, poor civilizations to like advance substantially.
It could have simply been survivors.
It just could have,
spreading knowledge into other groups of survivors around the world.
My whole thing is, if these people were truly so powerful, why'd they allow one of them to get their head taken?
Oh, the alien?
Yeah.
Boom, roasted.
They made that girl catch on fire real quick.
Question.
I know. I want to hear.
What's your question?
So how did they let someone? Because there's like they sit in a circle, so there's no place you can't see when everyone's sitting in a circle. Sneak up behind one of them, take their head, and leave that place with it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, and they never explain it, and they should have explained it. I have another question to piggyback off your question. So they found a separate crystal skull head from the Roswell crash, right? That's the reason they were at Area 51 at the beginning, right?
Well, they found an alien body. They found an alien, which I guess has a crystal skull, although they don't actually explicitly show us because they have that scene where they open up.
So they did not extract that crystal skull.
It
I
doesn't have
know.
a crystal skull.
Okay.
She opens it up. She sees no crystal skull, just
Yeah.
regular mush brain.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
That
glows
was
blue,
that wasn't
but-
the alien that she wanted. That wasn't the
Oh, different alien.
But it had the same shape. Like it
same
had
shape, but like it didn't have
head
the
of-
valuable skull.
yeah.
As far as
hang
we
on
know.
a second. So are they saying that the Roswell aliens were actual aliens, but these aliens are interdimensional
Dimensional beings that live in the space between the
long
spaces.
time ago?
Oh, wait.
Oh, that's so stupid.
See, if
Yeah.
they just made them aliens.
And she got this idea because she found a third alien that we never see that
What?
had a crystal
Yeah.
body, but not a
Oh.
crystal skull. And so this made her think that the tale was true, and so she went on this quest to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interdimensional creatures. Like you could also explain that. Have you guys seen? I mean, it's not the greatest example, but is it called Nope, the movie with the
Oh,
like creature,
I know
the
what it is, but
interdimensional
yeah.
creature in
It's
the
the
in
Jordan
the sky?
Peele movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
The
the premise, like, or the point that I'm making being like, you could, not that Indiana Jones is operating on this level at all, but when you're dealing in the realm of interdimensionalness, there are things become like making sense of what's happening. Like human it's we explain things based on causality, and causality is based on physics. And if you're dealing with with interdimensionalness or interdimensionality, you're kind of leaving the realm of physics. And so trying to explain in a sensical way what's happening on in a causal way doesn't necessarily make sense. So all that's to say, like an interdimensional being, whether they can like manifest physically and participate in our space time, and then what they're doing in their space time and how that all kind of works, you kind of got a carte blanche to do whatever the heck you want.
I think the question worth examining is if alien from the beginning is the same type as the interdimensional beings.
Well, what I'm saying is that it could, like, we don't know. Indiana
Right.
Jones isn't in the business of giving us those answers. Just the same way, we asked the question: Is Indy and his father, are they? Well, we know, actually definitively no, because like, are Indy and his father immortal from the Holy Grail? No. In fact, in the beginning of this movie, the father's dead, and Indy's so old. Now, I mean, you can theoretically age physically while also being immortal, but that's a separate point. But yeah, Indiana Jones are not movies that give us these answers to the questions that they raise. But I'm just saying, in principle, you could justify anything that doesn't make sense specifically with the aliens in terms on that basis that they exist outside of our dimension, and so the rules that we are used to judging the world by don't apply to them. So, but that works both ways.
I simultaneously feel like you're giving it more thought and more credit than Spielberg and George Lucas, but at the same time, they would love it.
Yeah, no,
they
I
would
don't
100%
That's
take all
exactly
the
what we
credit we
meant.
give them.
Yeah, I don't think that they were operating on that level. I don't think they had these explanations in their mind. I'm just saying, but maybe what they did is like, maybe they did the same that I'm saying, which is my fundamental point is interdimensionality like trumps everything else. It means nothing matters. Like continuity and causality doesn't matter anymore. So, and they could have just been like, hey, let's make them, not only are they aliens, but they're an interdimensional aliens. So anybody criticizes like anything about our movie, we just give them the interdimensionality mic drop or whatever, right? It's like, but that also goes both ways, where it's like, why did the aliens just blow up? Like, how did they, like what you were saying, Morgan, they're all in a circle and whatever. They're interdimensional. What they don't necessarily see the world the way we see the world. So if what to us is a very obvious, I'm going to go to this one alien and pull its head off and run away. In their interdimensional perspective, it could have been some crazy ayahuasca trip that they were, that was nothing incomprehensible. So that's sort of again, the movie doesn't tell us this, but the basic premise of like these creatures exist on a different plane.
You're making me like this movie less the more I'm thinking about it.
Good.
No.
I don't know. I just think this movie was just like, and I kind of disagree, because I feel like George Lucas is in the business of telling you why. Because otherwise Star Wars would have stopped after the first 3, and he wouldn't have gone on to make the other 6, because he would have been like, who cares about why they got to where they were? It's done, let's move on. He wouldn't have had to continue the story after it. He wouldn't have had to give you the prequel. He wouldn't have had to give you all the in-betweens that he's given now. So like, I kind of disagree with that, because I think that he is very much invested in the now. I think honestly, this was like, we want to make another Indiana Jones movie. We want to bring it back. It was a successful franchise with 3 movies. Let's bring it back for another. Introduce some characters that are young and hip and at the time very popular, and let's make it what everyone loves right now, which is space. Let's throw some space in there, mix it with Indy, and let's give them a movie. How are these kids? How are they related? Oh, it's his kid. Like, obviously, duh, because that's the easiest, dumbest plot point to put in. So, I just think that this movie was not as thought out as you think it was. And that this was definitely like, let's put a bunch of plots in the bag, and whatever we pull out is what we're going to use, and we're going to make it stick no matter what. What was hot in the 50s? The Cold War. Does this have anything to do with the Cold War? Absolutely not. Could it have had a lot to do with the Cold War? Yes. Did they make it? No.
Imagine if Indy went to space. That would have made me love this movie. If this was him explore, Indy explores the moon.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Ancient culture on the moon.
Oh,
That's
sure.
how you make this.
Let's
like,
put a
1950s.
pyramid, a ruin on the moon. Let's have Indy in a spacesuit explore the ruins on the moon.
And especially the whole alien part just seemed very like also rushed and last minute. It made literally no sense, and I feel like Indy is always in the business of, he's not going to do what's necessarily right. He's not going to really necessarily help other people out, but he will always do what is in his best interest.
Mm-hmm.
No, Indy's got a heart of gold.
That returning that skull was in his best
yes,
interest.
He does. The whole point, every Indy film is Indy going, why'd you have to do that? He even says in this movie, Miriam, you have to get yourself kidnapped, right? When Irina threatens to kill Marion, he's like, shit, I guess I have to help out now. Like, every movie is Indy. You're right in that Indy's image and his whole, like, his impetus is self-interest. But every movie has the point where there's somebody else that he cares about who's in danger, and Indy has the option to not help them, and he ends up helping them.
Well, yeah, like, he's not a monster.
But at the end of every movie, he always gets something that he originally went there for. And in this one, he doesn't. He gets Marion, but he never originally went there for Marion. He originally went there to help out an old friend.
Yeah, and he does that.
Which they could have done without returning the skull. They didn't need to return the skull. They didn't need to do all that. Yeah. They could have just left. And I think and that's where I think this whole thing goes like haywire, is when they decide they need to return the skull.
That's kind of counter to your argument, though, because returning the skull is better for people, for civilization, because with the skull not being returned.
Is it though?
Well, yeah, because the skull not being returned, it's a like,
he got an entire population of people killed.
Yeah.
And he ruins an ancient temple.
Yeah.
Okay, granted, I'll accept that. I haven't finished the second half of my dream journal, but he
desecrates that ancient ruin. Although it is implied that it was meant to like be opened, but still. Yeah,
like, the point is that
and he floods the place.
Yeah.
The point is that Irina and the Soviets wanted it, and he mucked up their plans in a way. So if he hadn't done what he did,
this is just it's really like the Ark. I mean.
Yeah,
if she had found it without him, she still would have exploded. If Indy hadn't
intervened with the Ark, then the Nazis would have been able to get their hands on a very powerful.
But she still would have exploded in the end.
So yeah, no, it's the same problem as Raiders. The end is the same. The bad person gets too close to the thing, like they fly too close to the sun, and they explode or melt.
But Raiders, guys, you're not
Indy.
Listening to me.
No, I'm listening. I hear the
without
words.
Indy in Raiders, without Indy, the Ark is still usable. Yes, it killed everybody who opened it there, but that's not like the Nazis didn't know they had a team with the Ark. They would have just sent other people, and then they would have seen the obvious evidence of what had happened, i.e., shit went down and they all got fucked. And it's like, okay, you think the Nazis then decide like, okay, you know what? Let's just leave this alone. No, they say, okay, let's plop this in Jerusalem and let somebody fucking open it or whatever. Or let's tie a string to the lid and tie it to a helicopter and then open it ourselves at a safe distance and let God do his glorious thing and, fuck shit up. That's what they
Don't
done in
swear
art.
on that was 3.
All right, well then don't tell me that I don't know what I know. All right, and same thing in Crystal Skull.
But
Indy
see,
wasn't around.
in the first one though, he's going there because he doesn't believe in magic. He doesn't believe it exists. He doesn't believe any of that. And then he leaves knowing what he wanted to know. He leaves
but he
with
also
knowledge.
probably hides
And
it.
then
It's
the
like
second
Flash covers
one-
it up.
The second one, all he wanted to do was get to Delhi. He had to do this random adventure so he could get to Delhi. So he gets to Delhi.
He's an archaeologist. He believes in the
But
artifact.
this one,
The second one came
there's
first.
no like other than coming back with his friend. There's no like he could have done that halfway through the movie. He didn't need. The
You're
whole
right,
second
but
half of the movie.
Yeah. No,
Yes,
well,
but he's an
I find that
archaeologist.
this has kind of been my long running one of my qualms with this franchise is that I like you go into every movie with like the central MacGuffin, whatever it may be, minus Temple is not as like at the forefront as is the Ark, the Grail, and the skull or whatever. But so little of the movie is about the actual thing, and then like the last 5 to 10 minutes are, and you get to the place, like whether it's where all the Grails are or the like ceremony of opening the Ark or the 13 skeletons, and yeah, every one of these movies I go into it wanting more of whatever that thing is and getting very little of it. So in this movie, once more, it was again following the structure.
The Crystal Skull.
I did get a little bit more of the backstory of Crystal Skull than I did of the Ark, which is one of my main issues with Raiders. But like this movie, they identified the format, they filled in the blanks, they Mad Libs'd it. They gave us a movie with aliens and Cate Blanchett.
And then the ending was so dumb. So I was like, oh, fine.
The wedding?
They're gonna get together, and they get together, and then what? And then the hat comes rolling across the floor, and Shia picks it up, and he takes it from him and puts it on his head. I'm like, no. What you should have done is you should have put it on Shia's head so that it could then continue.
Oh, see,
because now the fifth one makes absolutely no sense.
No, I loved that moment because I was so ready to be done with this movie if it ended on that note of now I'm Indiana Jones, and it was definitely set up, I think, to.
But then it doesn't need to go forward because
No, but then he takes it. It's like it's saying no. Harrison is always Indy, and so
it did predicting the box office, not flop. I guess it did fine in box office, but like just the shittiness of the movie.
We've already had 3 of the F words.
They realized like, no, we're not going to do the Shia.
They were playing both. I think they were playing it safe though. I think they were doing both. They were like simultaneously giving us a movie that was, like you were saying, preparing us for like passing the torch at the end, and then saying, I'm still Indiana Jones. You're Indy. You're Mutt Jones. Like you're Mutt, whatever. You're
Mutt
Henry
Raven
Jones
Williams.
the third.
Yeah, the third.
The third. So like I think they were. I think that's giving the movie too much credit, where they knew that they weren't going to get away with Shia. I feel like they were still trying to like push Shia, but they were just kind of like playing both cards of like, you're not going to be Indiana Jones. I'm Indiana Jones, but maybe you'll be.
But now it sets it up for something because, like, say, God forbid, something had happened to Harrison Ford.
That's not even. That's the last I want to hear about that. But okay.
You can't do another Indiana Jones movie. You're done. You're done. Like you're done right there. Whereas if you had passed off, even if you don't choose to go with Shia in the future,
you have that.
There is a future for the franchise. Whereas now it kind of is like, what is this one going to be about? Is it going to be the same stuff we've gotten? Is it going to be it? Like now I want to know what happened to Shia. You better do a reference or I'm going to be
No,
mad.
don't do a reference. We can ignore Shia.
No, like I'm way too old and there's no way.
I want as much of a reference to Shia in this movie as we got to Henry Jones Sr. in this movie. Like in the new movie, I want them to just say, okay. I want them to just acknowledge that he exists, and maybe he died. Who knows? Maybe.
Did they ever acknowledge what happened to the little kid in the second one?
No,
He was
He-
left behind.
Oh,
he was left
an Oscar.
behind.
That's
What did you say, Vince?
He won an Oscar.
You already had
Oh, he won an
him
Oscar.
run along
I-
on your adventures, put him in near-death situation, and then you just left him for dead.
He was just he was his his Asiatic like sidekick. That's
But
who he was.
Indy took care of him. He
Yeah,
fed
but
him,
only in the
clothed him.
only during the length of that film. That was he
But
filled
it's
his purpose.
understood that up to this point, he's gone with him on all of this, so they had.
No, he wasn't in
he
Raiders.
saved them from the street.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
saved
There's a
him from the street.
backstory.
So
The
now
streets
where
of
does he
Hong Kong
go?
or whatever, the streets of Asia.
Yeah.
When
So
Indy
you brought
leaves
him to
Asia, he
America and
leaves-
set him free.
When he
Oh my
leaves
God.
Asia, he leaves Pop to Asia. He leaves them in. He leaves little Pop in.
Okay, we're gonna put Alex into timeout for a little bit. There we go.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I like it like bothers me that they always have all these
Bad
loose
word.
ends and they never tie them up.
Oh wait, hold on. Alex is on the wrong side now. There we go. That would have bothered me. So oh my gosh. Yeah. Who's ready
Yeah.
for the game?
I'm ready.
Hey,
This has been such an unhinged session of Teacup for One.
I know. I get
This
more
has
and
been
more.
This has been 3 weeks of me watching these movies and not being able to talk to anyone about it because everyone I know also does not watch Indiana Jones.
I think this is the most unhinged one we've done so far.
Incredible.
Yeah. Wait, what is it, Lisa?
I just want to say that please let's never use the term Asiatic again.
Asiatic.
is
Yes,
Asiatic a politically incorrect term?
because the definition
I
is
thought so.
eccentric or crazy as a result of spending a long time in the Far East.
Yeah.
No. Asiatic is of
No, okay.
No,
I don't know.
That's
That's what
not-
it says here.
that's not the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
We've all learned. We've all learned a thing. We've all learned a thing. There we go.
Hang
There we
on.
go. No, oh no.
Okay.
Relating
Wait,
to
wait a
deriving.
second.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Huh.
So Google says one thing, Merriam-Webster says another one.
Yeah.
You're muted,
He's
Alex.
just, shh, no, he's not. There we go. Yeah, what? Yeah, Alex.
Either way, we love
misinformation.
what's his name?
The short round.
Short round.
Yeah.
Short round. Pop. That's what I said.
Yeah.
No.
Goonies.
He's great.
Yes.
Everything, everywhere.
Everywhere all at once.
Well, I know why
well,
he wasn't in the other ones because he
Encino
stopped
Man.
acting after that.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like-
Encino Man. Good movie.
What?
Good movie.
Who
Oh,
was
yeah,
in
no.
Encino Man?
He's only like in 1 or 2 scenes. He's one of the other students that
That
Brendan
George
Fraser
the
meets.
Jungle.
Yeah, the George of the Jungle
Those two?
meets at high school. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so here's the game. Woo! This game is called Name That Alien. So I'm going to show
Oh,
you
great.
I'm going to show you an alien from either a TV show or a movie. For each round, you have an opportunity to get up to 2 points. You get 1 point if you tell me the name of the alien, and you get another point if you tell me, hold on, I'm making a scorecard. If you tell me what movie or TV show this alien is from.
Go back to
Alex, why don't you just call them Asian?
Oh, I can call them Asian. I don't mind. I'm just.
No, we're
I'm
on to
just
the
saying,
game now.
Asiatic is
We're on
still-
to the game now. We're on to the game now. We're on to the
He
game
showed
now.
the definition again.
We're on to the game. Oh.
On Merriam-Webster. On Merriam-Webster.
No, Alex, no. I was looking down. It's not fair. I didn't have time to. No. Stop it. Stop it. No phones.
Yeah.
That's a
Wait,
cracked
what
screen,
happened to your
Lisa.
screen?
I don't know. Lisa dropped her phone. You
that's
cracked
yours.
your screen. I don't
This
know.
is mine.
She's such a butterfingers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, get ready to tell me the name of the alien and the movie that the alien is from.
okay.
Now, on a
I'm not gonna
case by
know any
case
of
basis,
that.
on a case by case basis, I mean, it's going to be pretty cut and dry for each one. But when you're telling me the name of the alien, you can either tell me its proper name, like Bill or George, or you could just tell me the species. If it's an alien like that doesn't have a proper name, it's just like this is X species.
Oh,
of
I'm
alien.
not gonna know these. I don't
Oh yeah,
watch
you'll
this
get
movie.
you'll get one. And if you don't know, just guess. It'll be fun. Here we go.
Okay. Down.
This is the first one. So again, I am looking
Oh,
for
I
the
thought
name.
it was the one that I was like, isn't that from the movie?
No,
Oh,
I'm
do I have
looking
to tell you the specific movie?
So I'm looking for the name of In
Or
a
the
case like this,
series?
you can tell me the franchise. You can tell me the
Okay.
name of the franchise. So I need the name of the alien and or species of alien. And for a second point, tell me the name of the franchise that this creature is
I
from.
know where the movie it's from.
I don't know. It's more than I know. Matt, I want to host a game show, and I'm going to ask you questions, and I want you to
You
be
did that.
on the other ends of this.
You did that once, and I won.
I already wrote it down.
Remember on
Yeah,
your
you
teaching
did.
live stream, I won. I did very
Yeah.
well.
I remember
All
that.
right.
Yes.
Maybe I should start posting again on my YouTube.
Yes. All right, let's see our answers. Here we go. We're going to remove this. We'll start with Morgan. You said alien named Fred. Okay, is alien the name of the alien?
The
Oh no,
The
franchise.
movie,
Okay,
right?
cool. Yeah. Or I'm not confirming answers yet, but I accept
That is
your
a name.
answer. Yeah.
And his
Alex,
name, I'm guessing,
is
is
Fred.
Fred.
I like that. Xenomorph alien. Okay. Lisa. Big head alien. Okay. Vince.
Big head.
Xenomorph alien. Alex and Vince are tied for first place because it is a xenomorph from the Alien franchise. Very
Is his
nice.
name Fred?
No.
Did you ask him?
What-
Well,
what's
it is a female identifying alien, as they make a
Fred
point
could
of.
be a female name. Why
Is
can't
Fred?
Fred be?
Oh, I guess Fred could be a
Yeah.
female name. Oh yeah, Winifred.
Oh, yeah.
Fred. No.
Fred?
Yeah,
Frederica?
sorry, you're right. Fred who?
Frederica?
I don't know who. Oh, Frederica. Yes.
Fredifer?
Fredifer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No.
Adeline?
Did
Line?
anyone in the movie ask the alien if their name was Fred?
Well, there weren't really a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, they were too busy trying to not
Survive.
get killed. Here we go. Next. Boom.
Oh,
Oh,
I know the movie. I'm trying to think of the name.
Oh my god.
What are they? Oh,
Oh, and for
I
the
remember.
record, Kristen also got Alien from Alien and Aliens.
well, it shouldn't get Xenomorph, so.
That's true. Well, xenomorph just means
Oh.
alien.
I know
No, it
exactly.
doesn't.
No, I'm aware it doesn't. I know.
Xeno means alien, but
Yeah,
morph
does it
means
really?
something else. Yeah,
Oh,
it's it's Greek
I know it's a
for like.
number.
So does it
Yeah.
mean alien that changes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably
interesting.
the etymology of it, yeah.
But the alien doesn't really change. It just grows up.
Well, it changes in the sense that there's the face huggers that plant the alien, and then you
That's
get
true.
and
But
it
that,
grows
do you,
up.
do you want to see it again, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this is their official name, but it probably isn't. But it's a name that they're given, so hopefully I
Yeah.
get half points at least.
All right. Let's start with Vince and Lisa this time. We'll start with Vince.
Let's
Okay.
see.
I don't have a name for you, but I'm guessing District 13,
Okay.
That
Lisa.
looks like a name.
unless it's District 11. I know it's a
No.
prime number.
I think it's District 9.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
District 9.
Alex, don't give it away.
And Darren.
Well,
Darren.
I wasn't going to give it away, but Vince then offered two wrong answers. He gave
Yeah,
13 and 11, as if those are the only possibilities.
Vince,
help
you're
myself.
thinking of the Hunger Games, man.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, what's your answer?
You
No,
try.
it's Prawn District 9. Okay.
Ron.
Yeah, they're called like prawns or something.
Morgan.
I
Yay.
said ant thing, and I
Ant-
Ant
Oh,
thing.
Nice. Well, prawn is the answer that I'm accepting. So there we go.
Yeah, it's like a derogatory word
Yeah.
that the South Africans use for the alien.
Shrimp.
Yeah, it's the South African / Australian / British word for shrimp.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Prawn.
Prawn.
Although they are technically different things, but
Next. Boom. Now there are two creatures in this photo. So you have an opportunity for up to 3 points if you tell me the proper name of both characters plus their movie. Now, I will say that in this case, I am looking for proper names because I don't
Matt.
think there's really a species.
where on earth did you get these movies?
They're very popular movies.
not where on Earth, Morgan.
Uh.
Where on
Space.
space?
This movie looks like it is from the 40s.
This movie is incredible, I will say. This is like one of the greatest movies of all time.
Is it that movie that I can't think of the name of?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah, this movie was directed by the same guy who directed Sound of Music.
Oh,
Fun fact. Yeah.
shit.
What year did it come out?
I'm gonna guess like 64,
Okay.
but that's just a guess.
I already wrote it down.
Let's start with Lisa.
Okay. 2001 Space Odyssey,
Okay.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. Okay, nice. Vince. No, Vince can go last. Morgan.
I said Fred and Bob. this
Okay.
time.
Bob.
And I said Martians.
Okay.
Days.
Alex. Glorbins from Inspector Spacetime.
I should have guessed that.
Community? Is that a
Community.
community reference? Okay. Forgot about Inspector Spacetime. Did you know that there's an Inspector Spacetime web series that's not sanctioned by the creators of Community?
No, I didn't.
So the
But I
guy who played Dr. Spacetime in Community for like that one maybe 10 to 15 second clip, he pitched them doing a web series of Dr. Spacetime and they said no. So then he went off on his own and made his own Doctor Who knockoff web series that was called something like Doctor Who Travels Through Space and Time, but not exclusively, something like that. So I just find the existence of it hilarious.
That is
Anyway,
funny.
yeah. Vince.
I guessed robot guy from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
The Day the Earth Stood Still is correct. We were looking for Klaatu and Gort.
Oh my gosh, that's good though. You got the movie.
Yeah, no, that movie is amazing. I adore that movie. Yeah, Klaatu Barada Nikto. Here we are. Next. That's how you activate Gort. You say Klaatu Barada Nikto.
What?
Yeah. Next.
Oh,
All right. That one didn't take long. Let's start with Morgan.
I said Space Jams, Fred.
Nice. Eventually, one of them will be a Fred. Good. Alex?
Oh, will it? Is that a hint?
No. Mork from Glorp. Okay. Vince? Mork from Mork and Mindy. Okay. Lisa? Mork from... It is Mork from Mork and Mindy.
Woohoo!
Woo! Yeah, but you didn't... Alex, you only got Mork. You didn't say Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, but I got the character.
You got
right.
Mork. Yeah,
I
you
get
got
one.
Mork. You got Mork.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were very close. He's from Orc, not... Well, I think it's Orc. It's not Glorp.
Yeah, I was remembering. I was vaguely reminiscing on The Office because
Oh,
Steve
did it?
Carell does a little bad joke on the character.
Nice. Next.
oh my god! What was the movie?
Lisa,
How
you
dare
loved
you,
this
Lisa?
movie.
This looks terrifying.
You loved this movie. You said it was better than the Don't Look Up.
It was with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes, and it ends with Tom Jones singing "It's Not Unusual" with all the Woodland friends. To be loved by anyone.
What?
I don't remember.
Not on you. This is a movie that we have watched on this show as part of one of our marathons within the past year. I would even say maybe within the past half year.
What's the movie?
I don't know.
Do,
You
do,
started
do,
off by saying
do,
I'm
do,
wrong,
do, do,
so-
do, do. Let's start with Lisa.
No,
Let's see
I have
what-
nothing written down yet. Oh my god. Okay, give me like 5 seconds. Give me a countdown.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2,
2.5.
2.5.
1.5.
Um,
1.25.
Nanu.
One. 3/4 of
Okay.
one.
Okay.
okay.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln from Mars Attacks. Okay. Vince.
Remember.
I went with Mars Attacks and
Joe Biden. You guys are crazy.
Morgan.
I went from Kit. I went with Kim the Fab from Space Jam.
Nice. Okay.
Isn't it just Space Jam?
No, there's two of them though. So it's Space
multiple
Jams.
jams.
Yeah, it's
There
a
are?
franchise.
there's two. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's two. Alex.
with LeBron.
Yeah.
Martian from Mars Actax, but really attack.
Ack. That's what I was trying to remember. I wanted to say 5, 4, 3, 2, Ack, but then
Mm.
yep. Kristen got it too. Woo! All right, next.
Wait. Are they just Martians?
They're just Martians.
Yeah,
'cause
they're
from
Martians.
Mars.
Ah,
You
Aw,
sillies.
come on.
Next.
trying to be funny.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
I remember
It
this
bodes well that we've
bad movie.
spoken about almost all of these aliens. Well, not all of them, but most of these aliens throughout this conversation tonight.
Matt, there are some that I am waiting for that you have not put up yet.
What, Stitch? Stitch isn't in here.
And what is Stitch? He's not an
He's an
He doesn't
alien.
have a
He's-
species though. He has a designation.
He's an experiment.
yeah.
Still an alien,
Yeah. But
but that's not the one I was looking for.
what are they called in this one? Aliens.
We'll find out. All right, let's start with Alex.
Okay.
Aliens, War of the Worlds. Okay. Okay, Morgan.
I said Shadow from Shadow.
Shadow from Shadow. Okay, good choice. Hold on. Lisa.
Zero.
Circle Jerk from The Arrival. Okay.
Arrival.
I don't- I pretty sure I saw the. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, no, yeah. There we go. What did you say? The Squid Boys from
Oh,
Arrival.
That's interesting. I want to comment on this if this is what it actually is.
Yeah, it's Arrival.
Okay, so yeah, at the end of the remake of the War of the Worlds, they have the walker, the door when the doors open. If you guys remember that movie,
I haven't seen this movie, but okay.
the remake, when the doors open, that image you put up looks similar to it. Probably where
Yeah.
it's like the door opens and a bunch of fluid gushes out. So I
Yeah.
thought that was like fluid piling around the circular door. So I was
Yeah.
confused. But I haven't
No,
seen it
no.
all, so.
This is them communicating with Amy Adams.
Gotcha.
That's like
teaching
their
them the language.
alphabet, or like
Yeah.
that is their written word.
Spoiler! La 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 la
It's
la
so-
la la.
No,
It's
you
such-
know,
it's
you
such a
know
good
that.
movie.
That's
La la
the
la la
whole-
Yeah.
la 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 la.
It's the best movie. We love this movie. Okay.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Next.
I'm not actually angry.
Yeah, it's fine. Boom.
Oh.
Now here's the thing. I don't want Clark Kent, and I don't want his superhero name. I want his
His
name from
species.
his home planet.
His
proper
species.
name.
No, his
Oh,
species.
I want his proper name.
No,
from
you
his
want the
home
kind of
planet.
alien he is.
No.
Okay, fine.
Matt,
Okay.
you took away the only one I knew.
Well, he's right there. You can tell me the name of the franchise. I also get you a point. That's why I didn't say the name of the franchise. I said his superhero name because it's the name of the franchise. But yeah, I want his alien name, the name that he was given on his home planet.
Yes, all right. We get it.
Yes. All right. Let's start with Morgan.
Superman's the franchise.
Yes.
And then I said Kryptitans.
Kryptitans. Nice.
Or Kryptonians, maybe?
Krypt-
Kryptonians?
Kryptonians sounds nice too.
It does. Yeah. Okay. Alex. Kal-El from Superman. That is
Something.
an answer. There we go. Lisa.
Crypto hunk.
Super. Vince.
Got Kal-El from Superman.
Yes. So of course the
Kryptonians,
correct
he said
answer
Kryptonians
was
too.
Kal-El from Krypton. But you know what? Since he is from Krypton, I'll give all answers that had some kind of variation of Kryptonian, crypto hunk, crypto something. I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel so loved here.
Thank you. Feel the love.
Yeah.
Spread the love around.
I think this
spread
may
around.
be the worst score I've ever gotten on one of your
No,
quizzes.
you've
This
gotten
is gonna
far
be
worse,
than
Morgan.
the cheese episode.
The cheese.
Cheese. What was the cheese
The
episode?
cheese episode was is it a classical composer or is it a cheese? I think that was the game.
Oh, for Tar?
No, it was for Fantasia. It
Um,
was eras ago.
Tar was a good time.
Next.
It was hard. It was
Yeah.
hard.
oh.
I already put the answer to this, but not really.
Well, very indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Oh.
their real names are.
I thought this would be the easiest one. No?
Well, only no. You had good reason to
No.
suspect that because this is a very popular show.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Exterminate.
exterminate.
Exterminate. Exterminate. So good.
Extra.
Is it the show that's only in Canada? Because that's not fair.
No,
No.
it's in the UK.
My thing stands. This is a show that is not available in America.
Oh, it's
Oh, no,
definitely
it's
available in
available.
America.
It's available.
Yeah.
American
Let's start
Plus.
with Morgan.
I
I'll
said
be-
Jimmy Neutron is the series.
Nice.
I want somebody
And
to call
I
them
said
trash
Robo
cans.
Blaster.
Again, Robo Blasters isn't wrong. It's just not right. But it's not inaccurate. So there, Alex. Glock bonds from Doctor Who.
Glorbond.
Sorry, Glorabonds from
Oh.
Doctor Who.
Bonds.
Okay. Vince.
I guess salt shakers from
Nice.
Okay.
Not quite the
Lisa?
trash can reference I wanted, but still.
Walter Elizabeth from Wally.
Walter Elizabeth.
You do know that we
my
only
gosh.
get like certain seasons of Doctor Who in America?
Oh, but every season has Daleks. Oh, they're Daleks. That's the answer.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
you
I don't
got
know. I never watched Doctor Who, so
Doctor Who. Is it?
Doctor
you
Who.
have to pay for premium cable to get the BBC.
Oh, that's a shame. You're missing out on so many good
Because
shows.
Y'all wanted to be rid of the colonies.
Yeah. You knew what you were
Yeah.
doing when you dumped the tea into the water.
Wanted to be independent.
Hey, why is that? My
Wasted
fault?
all the tea.
I was not alive.
Wasted
then.
all
Sins
the
of the
tea.
father. Sins of
Spilled the
father.
tea.
Passed on to the daughter.
Next. This is a very American show.
Oh,
Oh,
Is it?
Wait,
I
is he an alien?
Yep, I need the character's proper name and the name of the
in
TV
real
show.
life, he's an alien.
You're saying all of these things, but none of them are.
I don't know his name.
I don't know.
Morgan, this is a TV show from your great nation.
With a great actor.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that actor is. I couldn't tell you a single thing he does.
Oh my God, John.
Did you not see
Lith-
Footloose?
No.
John Lithgow is a treasure.
He was great in Cliffhanger with Sylvester
Have
Stallone.
you
He was
seen
the
Dexter?
Winston
Oh, of course.
Churchill in The Crown.
In The Crown?
I
He
didn't
was a
watch
serial
Dexter.
killer in Dexter.
Yeah, and he
Yeah, he
was
is.
this character in this show.
I'm 26. What do you think I do?
Dexter
I-
came out like a few years ago, the last season. Anyway.
When Dexter came out, I was like 7.
No, but the last season came out like. A
Don't
few
say
years ago.
that. That's gross.
Yeah, Morgan, stop being gross.
Yeah, that's no.
But like,
no,
I
no.
wasn't allowed to watch Dexter.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
a
now
shame.
you can.
Now you can. Let's start with Morgan's answer.
I don't have an answer. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't have.
Just say Dexter. Say serial killer from
Dexter.
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 Morgan, you got a point. No. No, sure. Morgan gets a point. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a pity point. I'll take it.
Lisa, let's see your answer.
Winston Churchill
Churchill.
from Third Rock from the Sun.
It is Third Rock from the Sun. So there we go.
See, I've never
Vince?
heard of that. I've
Oh,
never-
it's so good. It's so funny. You're missing out.
John Lithgow playing the character Mr. Lithgow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Third Rock.
Alex?
30 Rock.
Alf from
Wait, I've heard of Alf.
the
You-
closest.
Alf is like the oldest thing in the world,
The
Morgan.
closest was Kristen. Now his name. Now Harry is a different character. He played Dick Solomon. Dick. So he was Dick.
Who did he play in Footloose?
He was the dad. Now this is the original with Kevin Bacon, not the remake. The 80s
Kevin Bacon.
Footloose.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He was
I've seen clips.
yeah, he was the pastor or the priest guy.
Okay.
Okay, next. Oh, this is the last question from the regular round. Here we go.
Dude, what the heck?
Oh, is that? No. That's not from.
Why would you put
No.
this on the screen?
Those are
It would be
demons, not
so
aliens.
uncomfortable.
Maybe I should just say demons. Because I don't know what this is from.
Yeah, let me write down my answer first.
I don't know why. I just assumed that this would be a movie Vince loves.
I think I know what it is.
Good.
I hope you like my answer, Matt. I got real creative with it.
Oh, let's start with Morgan's answer. Okay.
Okay. I said Clowns from Clowns Invasion, aka 2012.
Now, how did you spell clowns?
Yeah, I completely forget it. Oh,
I got
John-
it. I got it.
The way
Ah.
you're supposed to spell clowns?
Are you sure that's how you spelled clowns?
No,
How did you spell clowns?
I don't know. I can't spell.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I teach math and science. There's no spelling involved there.
Okay.
I spell necessary wrong every day.
That word's not necessary. That's what I would say if I saw what you wrote down. It's a very meta joke. That's not necessary. Vince gets it, so let's go with Vince's answer.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a bit of a stab in the dark here. I'm guessing it's a Garbage Pail Kid from the movie The Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay, Lisa.
I realize this is really dark. But John Wayne Gacy from my 5th personal birthday party.
I don't get it.
John Wayne Gacy was a serial killer that
Serial killer and,
abducted
like
children
saying a
and killed
serial
them.
killer came to
Okay.
my birthday party.
But he would dress as a clown. to do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay, that was his MO.
Look, I
clown.
got a good chuckle. Okay. Okay.
That's funny.
Lisa, just when the show started to get back on track of kind of normal,
Sorry. I'm
here we
so
are.
Sorry. Jesus,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Alex, what did Barney from?
That is not Barney. Barney is
That's
a dinosaur. And he's
I will
not-
say, Morgan, you're the only one who got a point for this round because they are clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer
Oh.
Space.
That's why you were asking how she spelled clown.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. It was a
Hey.
special spelling for the movie.
Okay, yeah. Let me tally up how many points everyone has. Talk amongst
I
yourselves.
thought
for
you
a
were
few
gonna
minutes.
tell me it like didn't have a W or something.
Yeah.
So Morgan, you have 5 points.
Woo!
Let's see, Alex, you have. Hold on.
Look at that comeback.
Alex, you have 10 points.
Excellent.
Lisa, you have. You have 9 points.
Oh, great.
Vince, you have. $11 points.
Now we're
Good
talking.
job.
Right? Good job, Vince. Okay, so how many points, Jeopardy style, do we all want to wager?
8.
Hmm.
8 for Lisa. Okay. Vince?
I'll bet 9.
9. Okay. Alex?
I'll bet 9 too.
9. Okay. 9 as well. You don't have 92. Morgan?
I might as well bet them all since.
Let's go. Here we are.
Let's go. I'm already
All right.
bottom.
So once more, it's the same format. I'm going to show you an alien. Tell me the name of the alien. This is one with a proper name, as well as the franchise that this alien comes from. I
If
will
this is any
say
of the ones I've been waiting for, I'm gonna be mad.
you probably don't know what this is. I will say we have this alien has been name dropped at some point tonight.
I know who it is.
Who?
We'll see.
I don't think you do, Vince.
I think you.
I
know.
So this is a species name you're looking for?
Okay.
No, no. And now I'll say this. I do have one image that I'm going to show you first. If we all collectively agree, I can show you a follow-up image that I guarantee will give most of you points for the franchise. So
Okay.
you have an opportunity to double your points wagered if you tell me alien name and franchise. Or sorry, triple. You could double your points if you just give me franchise. So there it is. So first I'm just going to show you the alien. And then if all 4 of you decide we need to see the next image, I'll give that to you. But it needs to be unanimous. So
Okay.
here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
And sorry, are you looking for a proper name?
There's yes, this alien has a proper name.
Okay.
I still know it.
That's a very low res image.
I was wrong, but I know who this is.
You know who
I've
this
seen
is.
this
Yeah.
before.
It's
but
a
I don't know what
series?
this is.
Like a TV series?
This
And a
this,
series of films.
this specific image is from a film adaptation of a TV series. So you can give me the I don't expect you to tell me the name of this exact movie. You can just tell me the franchise.
Look at this clothing pattern.
I would because I
Oh.
vaguely
Hey
familiar
Dog
with
and
this
Fish
image.
are here. We love them. Woo.
Anyway, I'm gonna be the first to say I'll vote for another image.
Me too.
I second. I third.
So it's all on you, Vince.
on,
If
come
you
on,
want- but Vince, you
I know
know.
exactly who
Come
this is.
Yeah.
Come on, Vince.
Do it.
We're not
I-
gonna let
You
him
have no
get
reason to
points over
vote.
there.
Please.
For
All
people
right,
that are not a
let's move on.
threat.
Let's try the
All
next.
right.
Are you sure, Vince?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
I know. I want the record to show that I've got this.
Okay, okay.
I don't. God.
You don't know these people?
I do, but I don't know the alien.
Oh. I don't know the alien either, but I know these people.
I don't know.
It's funny. I
Wait,
actually
are
just
we
watched
doing a new one?
Try Not to Eat for
We're
this
not
show.
doing a new one.
No.
What?
Huh?
All right. Well, Vince will go last. Let's start with Morgan.
I said the Flintstones,
That is the correct franchise.
and I think his name is Martin.
Martin. Okay.
Oh.
So, Morgan,
Martin
you
the
currently
Martian.
have 5 plus 5. You have 10 points total right now. Hooray. Nice. Yes. Alex? Glock is
It's
the Flintstones.
Galactus from the
Kind of
Flintstones.
genius.
So, Alex, Flintstones. That gives you an extra, 9 points. So, 19 points total. Lisa,
Woohoo.
The Flintstones, Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut's correct.
good one.
Are you
No.
serious?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh, why you gotta play me like
I,
that?
don't know. I felt bad once I did it because I thought it was an obvious joke, but then I saw the joy in your eyes, and then I felt guilty.
It's okay. I thought
Mm.
because you gave me 10 points, you said I had 10 points. I thought I
Wait,
got Martin right.
How many points do I have?
No, you didn't. No, so now you have 17 points.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Great.
So Vince, let's see. Do you know the character's name?
The Great Gazoo.
Oh
That
my
sounds
God.
correct.
Vince. So wait, 18
Yes,
plus
I
11,
remember
18,
you.
29. What's 18 plus 11? 39?
It's incomprehensible, is what it is.
39.
Doesn't matter.
Off
Vince
the
won.
fence.
Vince won.
All right, yay!
2 weeks in a row.
That's right. This
I'm
is
so
Did you
impressed
say
you-
18
good
plus
job.
11 was 39?
I don't know. I'm not the math
9.
teacher. Is it
It's
29?
29.
18, 12. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah.
You carry the 1 and then you add the 8.
It's
and then you
I don't have the
Don't
divide
paper
by
carry
in front of
anyone.
me. I
You
don't have the
actually don't
paper. I
carry
don't know.
one.
It's too much
Zoom.
math. Anyway, I want Vince. How did you know that?
I watched a lot of Flintstones as a kid.
Nice, nice. Have you seen this specific movie?
I know I did, but
I'm pretty sure I've seen that specific
I
movie.
don't remember this
Yeah.
character from that.
It's
That's
yeah,
Viva
it's
Rock
Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Yeah, and he's played by
Viva
Alan Cumming.
Yeah, I know. The guy who played Fred in this also played the King in season 1 of Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
and then you have Alec
Oh.
Baldwin's brother.
Yeah,
as Marty.
yeah, and then the lady who played Sally in Third Rock from the Sun is Wilma, and Jane Krakowski, who I adore, and everyone should. She's Betty.
Oh wow!
We all love Jane Krakowski, right? Right?
Yeah, I like
I
her.
think
Yeah,
so.
I mean, she did do problematic brown face in 30 Rock.
Well, so did Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell did problematic brownface on 30 Rock?
No,
Blackface.
on one of her album covers.
Yeah.
No, not Joni.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Either way, Jane has somehow come out unscathed from that and is an amazing character actor. So
She got more hurt by doing the Flintstones movie.
yeah. Yeah, she's amazing in Dickinson.
I have not seen that.
It's
Yeah.
very gay in the best way.
Brilliant. Is that
Yeah.
I actually don't even know what that is. For a second, I thought you meant Dickensian, but that's probably a
No,
very different thing.
It's like based on Emily Dickinson.
Oh,
Plays her mom.
Jane Krakowski?
Yeah.
No, what?
I think this is the same. Yeah, from 30 Rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is she doing in that? That seems
No,
very
it's like-
off-brand.
No, it's a comedy. Like
Oh,
it is,
okay.
it's a satire. but
Okay,
it's
that's
based
better.
on Emily Dickinson's life. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I pictured like a very drab BBC style.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. It is lively. It is amazing. Again, it is gay. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wonderful. Add it to the list. There we go.
Add it
All
to-
right. Well, anything else to say about Aliens, Indiana Jones, what we're looking forward to for the next movie? Final statements. We'll start with Morgan.
I'm really nervous for this next one. So I don't know where you go from here.
Yeah.
Clearly, I think I have theories. I think they're going to have to kill off Marion.
Stop.
I think they're gonna have to do something with Shia, but Shia is not Shia right now. So
He died
I
in
mean,
Vietnam. That's what they say.
What do they say?
He died in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Actually, probably.
is the next one set in the 70s?
At least, yeah.
80s? Yeah.
would
Yeah, in
have
that
to be.
ballpark.
I don't understand how Indy still has a job teaching. He's never really.
Oh, well, I guess if he's retired, it's more time for grave robbing.
No, because in the
so-
last one it said he had gone back. He's a dean now.
Oh yeah,
Part time.
Yeah, but still, this is
Part-timers-
years later.
I will say part-timers don't get their own office, and they certainly don't get their name painted on a door.
It's true.
Well, he's indie though.
Yeah, he's indie.
I don't care who you are. You want to be realistic? Let's be realistic.
No, well, indie doesn't
In the
want to be
indie
realistic.
movies, Morgan?
They don't want to be real.
In the indie movies?
That's not what they're about.
No. Okay.
Listen.
Alex, closing statement on your. No, let's not do closing statement on your dream journal. Closing statement on what you hope to see from the next movie.
What I hope to see from the next movie, I hope to see a fun, good movie, as I always hope whenever I go in to see a film. What I expect to see is realistically, I don't really have any expectations. What if I had to bank on something, I would bank on what's happened every single time prior, which is the same formula, right? Like I would expect that we're going to see a repeat of the classic indie formula of, indie somewhere, but receives some impetus to go off somewhere else, and there's a bad guy and yada yada yada.
A botched storyline, a dame he likes to bang, and
well, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, like I'm going to expect that, but I mean, I very much approve and respect the decision, Lisa, of not watching any like trailers, teasers, that kind of thing. I tend to, if there's something that I want to see, I try my best to avoid those things myself. However, I am a fan of going to the movies, and inevitably, unless you time it up perfectly, you get shown previews. And although in the past I have like just chatted with my friend or something, distracted myself during previews to not like be to not be exposed or whatever, I have seen the previews for this film for Indy, and actually what I saw, it wasn't like incredible, but like the dynamic between, I won't spoil anything, but the characters that I did see in the preview was reminiscent of this past film of Crystal Skull, but it was not. I'll go as far to say that it didn't appear to be as formulaic as I would have expected. So they have an opportunity to do something genuinely surprising with the characters and in terms of the immediate characters that Indy is going to be interacting with in this film. And I'll be interested to see if they do take advantage of that, or if they just fall into the same old trope of, oh no, yeah, it ends up being some woman he banged or some kid of a woman he banged or whatever.
I hope not. But then again, it's Indy, so
yeah. Well, I won't be disappointed if it is.
There's been a lot of Marys, kid.
I think like he's done a lot. Like there's been a lot of stunts in the past movies, and I don't know that we're gonna find that in this one just because of his age.
I mean,
dry young actor to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I'm assuming that there won't be any of that of like him mistreating a woman for romantic purposes. So I'm just curious to see how they handle that. If there is an equivalent of some kind of indie girl, which I'm thinking would be Phoebe in this movie from the little I've seen, but just not within a romantic capacity. It's just like, here's the
I highly doubt Phoebe's going to be any, like, we'll see how they do it, but without spoiling anything, I'm going to say Phoebe's almost certainly not going to be a romantic interest.
Oh no, I have no expectation and no desire for Phoebe's character to be the romantic interest, but I also think Phoebe is filling the role of like the female protagonist in this movie.
Is Phoebe the actress or the character?
The actress.
The actress.
Yeah, and I guess this is the first time. Mine is kind of Elsa, where she's not, where like their relationship romantically isn't one of the main plot points. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Anyway, Lisa, what are your thoughts on either Crystal Skull or what you hope for the next movie?
I think the franchise should have stopped at the third movie.
At Goblet of Fire. Yeah.
I
Or it
concur.
did. In fairness, Last Crusade was the latest Indiana Jones film that we are aware of. So.
Based on your dream journal. No, yeah, I like it was so like the last movie was great. I really liked it. It was silly, it was campy. Sean Connery brought his chops.
Mhm.
It was disappointing, and I just wanted so much more. And for the new one, if there is going to be mention, I mean, because of this 2008 movie, because Marion was so heavily involved, I feel like she needs to be in the next one, or she's going to get what's her name, Kelly McGillis from Top Gun.
Oh, right.
Like it's justice for Karen. Like
Mhm.
you can't just bring her into 2008 and then get rid of her in 2023.
Mhm.
In my justice for the
Justice for
older
Karen.
ladies.
Justice for
want
Karen.
I'm with you, but I'm not with you in the sense that I feel like they won't need to bring her back.
Mhm.
I want them to bring her back because I love her.
I
But-
feel like they need to explain if they don't bring if she's not in the
They
movie,
don't.
they need to explain why.
Also,
Yeah.
then like if they, I'll be okay if they're like, okay, she died, fine. But if they just like erase her from the franchise,
Oh, yeah. No,
it's-
I
Mm.
can't.
And I feel the same way
need
about his
to-
son. Like now that he has a son,
yeah.
he can't just like be like
And they got married.
Yeah.
Like he Rocky Balboa that.
Hey, they drank the Holy Grail, and they know how that turned out. I mean, if anything's supposed to have an impact,
if
Holy
she's
Grail.
dead,
Meh.
if she's dead, I need Indy to go to her grave and like
Ah,
sit at her
yes.
Yeah.
gravesite,
Yes.
eating a salami
Nah.
sandwich, being like,
Yes.
Karen, it's been
you
a
guys
time.
are too sentimental.
All right. Well, I think we can all agree that we just want closure on Marion in some.
No, we
capacity.
don't
Yes,
agree.
we
I like
do.
Marion as a character, and I would love
I want her
to have
be
her
Well,
in this
closure
other
or
film,
acknowledgement. I think
but I
that's
don't
the,
need
that's
closure
the general agreement.
because Indy, that's not the relationship I have with Indy.
So
Indy
like
treats me the way he wants.
you'll be content.
Indy throws me around in the corner. all
I
right?
don't think Alex, I don't think that'll sit well in 2023. I'm just
No, but Alex being thrown around the corner by
Yes,
Indy,
that sits perfectly, Morgan.
I would pay
This
for
is-
that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
being abused by Indy is what the people want.
Oh,
But anyway,
okay.
Okay, there we go.
Can come to Orlando and go see the show and they'll throw water on you.
What?
What?
or whatever
Anyway.
they do. They ask for
Uh,
volunteers and something.
oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, we want justice for Kelly, justice for
No,
Marion.
just for Karen.
And Kelly.
Oh, and
Well,
Kelly.
keep calling her Karen.
Because that's her act. Like
That's the
act-
actress's name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Karen
I'm
Allen.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
Karen
I
Allen.
heard
No,
her
no,
name.
it's all good.
Karen.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
I
okay.
just don't like how they spell Marion. I don't know. It's too French for me.
Is it Marian? Is it?
It's IEN, isn't it?
Oh, IEN?
ION.
Oh, yeah, ION, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not the way you spell that?
Marion.
It
No,
looks like Marlon.
I spell it in a very Anglo-Saxon way of like Mary Ann, like Nary.
Like Marianne
No.
Williamson.
Yeah, or that,
Okay.
or Miriam, like
Yeah.
Miria. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, never mind.
Whatever. Okay, what are your last thoughts?
Look, I think this movie would have been a lot better if instead of climbing into a fridge to avoid a nuclear blast,
Oh my god!
Oh no.
It was lead line.
instead
No,
of
no,
that,
just let
though,
line.
if he climbed into the Ark of the Covenant, because that'd be great.
And then the arc gets blown out and the lid like slides off slowly. It's just Indy with his face melted off. And he's just like he suffered no damage from the explosion.
I just want to
but
say,
the arc
I
is-
just want to say, the MythBusters busted that because that would not have.
Believe it.
Oh
The
yeah.
Mythbusters busted what would
Oh,
happen if
man.
you opened
Now
the
we
Ark of the
know.
Covenant?
No,
No,
that
if
you
you-
could survive a nuclear bomb by hiding in a
In a
fridge.
lead
I
line
choose to
fridge.
believe what I misinterpreted and heard. They have an Ark of the Covenant episode. Brilliant.
No,
All right.
I will say,
They
in
just
regards,
tested Indy miss. Sorry.
Fair point.
go ahead.
in regards to the upcoming film, it might be good, might not be good. I'm looking forward to Mads Mikkelsen as the villain.
Oh yes.
That guy usually does pretty good. He was a forgettable villain in Doctor Strange, but he was a very good Hannibal in the Hannibal
Oh
TV
yeah.
show.
Who was he in
Oh, yeah.
Doctor
Oh,
Strange?
he's gonna be the villain.
He was the bad guy in Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
I
the
don't
guy
even
who
remember.
he communicates
Dormammu?
he was the guy who communicates with Gormammu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about
Hmm.
that.
In
I
the
think of
first
him
one,
as
not
better
the second
Grindelwald.
one.
I think his name was Caecilius or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, he's better Grindelwald in that franchise that
Beasts
I
and
haven't
Again,
seen it,
how to
but he's
find them.
great.
only I seem to like. But yes, we do love Mads. Brilliant.
No,
All right.
I disagree with you, Matt, but that's okay.
We don't love Mads.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, Fantastic Beast. Oh no, it's so dark now. Hold on.
Hold on.
The light's coming back.
We are.
We're back. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Well then, with that, it's time to sign off. Say all the things. Tell the people who you are, what you're doing. Favorite alien. Go.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm from Teaching Disney on YouTube. I haven't posted there in about a year, so I mean, you can go check it out. I'd appreciate it. Probably will start posting some more stuff eventually. But other than that, you can find me on my Instagram at MorgieB789, and I post Disney content on there pretty regularly, along with my regular life. You can go check out my highlight reel of what did I just see? Oh my gosh, it's a Canada band too. Simple Plan. I just saw Simple
Oh,
Plan
cool.
at Epcot, so you guys can check that out. And yeah, that's about it.
Woo! Thank you. Bye, Morgan. Hi,
I'm
Brad.
Lisa,
And I'm Vince.
and we're gonna be here next week, so you can check us out on Teacup for One. You can follow me at Lisa_A_Alves on Instagram for all things me. And where can we follow you, Vince?
You can find me on TikTok at Vinny Ridge Media, operating now under the name Only Time Will Tell.
I saw that this morning.
Oh, yeah, well, there's more to come because now I'm a paranormal investigator, but
I love that.
part-time.
Thank you, friends. Okay. See you next week. Try to beat that, Alex.
Oh, there's no.
I know.
There's no. Yeah. So I just want to add to the sort of universe that we're building with the whole like Lisa and Vince are one and the same. They never speak at the same time. Now, why do you think that is? Probably because a little bit of ventriloquism happening over, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So, folks, it's me. You know me. You know where to find me. Right here. You know, let's do the do, you know. Let's find what we're looking for. Let's take the thoughts in our head and master them. All right. Let's, you know, Irina had a good idea with what she was trying to do with the hand thing, but we can go bigger. All right. We can do more. All right. So let's do it. Let's not think about it. Let's not wait. All right. Let's just do it. All right. All right. Don't think. How was that?
Okay. What a weird night it's been on this show. Anyway, thank you for watching. Join us next week. We're going to talk about the new movie. Yeah. I have nothing else to say. It's almost midnight. I'm tired. Good night, everybody. Matt, 2 degrees. Teacup 4-1. Mwah. How do I end this?